Okay. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lake Cumberland Sports. Meet the Coaches Night here at Buffalo Wings and Rings, and tonight we're going to interview not one, not two, but 8 of our local coaches, 4 from all 4 schools and 2 coaches at each, if you do the math, and that's all the math we're going to do tonight. We're going to start out with Coach Ryan Young. And Coach, good to see you.
I appreciate you guys having us. It's a great event every year to kick off the basketball season, so very exciting time for all the coaches, players, schools alike. So
you had Meet the Jumpers last night. I saw some video that I think somebody had posted under your name or whatever. I think the young man enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, my toddler, he was all over the place. So that's the fun part about starting to have kids. You know, you get to bring them with you a little bit, and
right? Kind
of ingrain them with the team, and we got a great group of guys. So definitely great role models for him. So.
You remind me, next year we'll put a high chair. We'll put and with a booster seat in it, and he can join us.
Ooh, I don't know about that. We may not get a word in.
All right, Coach, we get ready for basketball season. I know we'll start out by pointing out that Somerset's football team is still playing football, and they'll play Friday night over to Owensboro Catholic, and hopefully things will go well enough. They'll play the following week. So you're going to have a late arriving couple players, but that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Our football team's had a great season. Hopefully everybody goes up there, competes hard, and continue to play. Anytime you're playing on Thanksgiving in high school football, it's a good news for sure.
I guess the other thing I would say, some people say, well, doesn't that hurt your football? Winners in whatever sport produce winners, and if those kids get used to winning in football, that helps you on the basketball floor. So, all right, let's get started. Last year, region final.
District championship, regional finals. It was a great season. Obviously, it didn't end the way we wanted to, but to get there was special for our guys, and we're mission focused. We're trying to get back. We're trying to take it a step deeper, and very proud of those kids. And ultimately, there's a winner and there's a loser, and you bounce back from it. And adversity, smacks you in the face sometimes, and you got to get back up and go back to work.
I want to say this, and then we're going to start talking about kids and basketball. The semifinal game, I guess it was last year against Stanville Christian. Mm-hmm. I thought your kids played one heck of a basketball game in that one, and maybe that took a little more out of them than we thought, but they beat a team that I guess is going to be a force around here in the 12th region for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a draw thing too. We're not going to make any excuses. We got beat by Pulaski. They were the better team, and you look at the last couple of years with us and them, I think it's 4-3 them. So, I mean, they happened to play better that night, and they deserved to win, and they were a worthy champion.
And we love it when the local schools are that competitive. Okay, let's turn toward 24-25 season. You lost about, by my count, almost 70% of your offense from last year's basketball team. A couple players moved on that were special players, 18, 19 point a game type in Whitaker and Godby. How do you replace that much scoring in this year?
Yeah, I mean, very talented players, very good stewards of the program. Obviously, their names are on the wall for a reason as 1,000-point scorers, but we believe in what we do. We believe in our culture. We believe in our player development and, our systems and our strategic things as well. So I think we have capable kids that can fill in, and it's all about role, identification for us right now and acceptance. And, we've got guys back that have played in big games, and now they just got to fill into roles where they're more comfortable and things of that nature.
I looked at your roster, and we'll jump into that roster pretty quickly, but I counted 6 guys who played a lot of minutes last year for you. And in that 6, I guess we can add another one because I understand Lineski is going to play basketball.
Yeah, I mean we've had multiple guys come back into the program.
Excellent.
I know, for our school, I know the transfer portal is pretty big nowadays, but we kind of put an emphasis on inside of our building, getting people back out to our program, and that wasn't just me. Our kids did a really good job recruiting one another and having those conversations. So I really like the mix of these group of guys. And like you said, we have multiple players that are coming back that's played in big games. Some of them has had some injury bugs over their career, so hopefully we can keep everybody healthy. But I do think we have a capable roster once we're able to mix it and gel it together.
Let's jump into that roster if you don't care. And I guess coming back, Adger comes back. He was a double-figure scorer for you last year, and I'm assuming he's going to take a leadership role on this basketball team. But you run down some players. I think they'd rather hear you talk than me.
Well, we'll start it by class. So we got Josh Bruner coming back.
Yes.
Josh is a fantastic kid. The big thing for JB is just to stay healthy. Fortunately for him, during the football season, he's had a really nice football season. I think District Player of the Year, and he's been able to stay healthy. For us, there's been some injuries the last couple of years that he's played. A significant one last year that put him out for the rest of the season.
And Coomer last year.
Yeah,
right?
Him and Jamison both dealt with injuries, but Josh, he has those intangibles. He has those leadership traits. I mean, he works his tail off all the time. So for us, if he can remain healthy, that's going to be a big factor for us. And I expect him to have an expanded role on the offensive end of the floor too, while heading our defense on the front end from the point guard position.
Let's just move on down that roster. You got the Lewis brothers.
Yeah. As far as
you were going to start with seniors.
yeah,
weren't
we're
you?
just going to work.
Yeah,
down.
let's work down that way.
So going into the summer, we kind of thought we were just going to have JB as a senior. So once we got into it, we kind of, like I said, recruited our own hallways in a good manner. So we got Landon Lineski coming back to the program. Really big kid, 6'7", 6'8". Had a tremendous soccer career. That they're coming off a regional championship in soccer this year from the goalie position. So some of those things that he does at the net there can definitely translate to what we need from him as a rim protector and a rebounder. And in our first scrimmage, he was right there close to a double-double. So we expect him to get better as he moves throughout the season as well. So another one, Reagan New, 6'5", senior, hasn't played in a couple years. He just committed Division I baseball at Bellarmine. So
Right.
Me and Reagan have a really good relationship. He's been in our weights class the last couple of years, even though he hasn't played. So that's a way that, I was able to maintain a relationship with him. So Reagan brings a good shooting touch to the floor. He's a capable defender. And once again, another long body. One thing that's going to be a theme with this team that has been maybe different from the past couple teams is that we do have pretty good length. So we're going to be able to mix some things up defensively as well. Isaiah Lewis, another good athlete, wide out for the football team. He's coming back into our program. So I know all these guys are really close-knit. They played middle school ball together, so they have good relationships. And it really is a good camaraderie between these guys. So that kind of rounds out the seniors that are coming back into our program. So
Before you jump into the juniors, we're at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Come on down and join us. This is our coaches show here on Lake Cumberland Sports. I was doing that so maybe you could get a drink.
I appreciate it.
And again, this is Ryan Young, the head man of the Somerset Briar Jumpers. We're so glad we're here. Hey, for the next couple hours and change, we're going to be doing this with 8 of our local coaches. So, Coach, let's jump into that junior class because it's loaded.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to some people, a lot of times when you think of programs, in which we got JB that's played in a lot of meaningful games, but a lot of times you talk about the seniors leading the rest of the program, but this is almost with JB added, this is kind of reversed because our juniors have played the bulk of our big minutes. Obviously, you start there with Aiden Apsher, long, rangy guard, has really worked his tail off this offseason. Some kids are gym rats. They love it. They live in it. there's not been many moments in the offseason when I'm in the locker room or in the office that he's not out on the floor taking jump shots. So I think for him, it's going to be a progression. He's kind of been more of a spot shooter for us, shooting 40% from the three-point line last year. And now I view him more as a combo guard and a three-level type scorer. In our practices, he's getting to the rim, he's posting, he's making mid-range jump shots, he's facilitating plays for our other kids. So I definitely think that he's going to be one of our, the better scoring threats in the region this year from the guard position. So I'm very proud of Aiden and how much he's worked to improve his game in the offseason.
You've got, obviously Cole Grundy is coming back. There's another body and another athlete and a pretty gifted basketball player. I think Bartley's back with you this year.
To speak on those a little
yes.
bit, Cole and Jake, they definitely played really big minutes for us on the inside last year. Cole, we're trying to expand his game a little bit. We're trying to make him, more of a stretch four in our system. We like to play with the floor spread and play with good spacing and shoot the three. Cole's a capable three-point shooter. But his energy, his effort plays, his athleticism, I was talking to his older brother today in the weight room. Cade was in, and just talking to him about, staying aggressive, staying on him to stay aggressive, and we need that, offensive punch out of him this year. And I definitely think as he continues to mature and flow into that role, he's going to be a capable secondary scorer for us, and we definitely need that. So Jake, banger, physical kid. He's been, really active on the football field this year. You see him in the backfield making plays and being physical. And when we kind of made our run last year, he was very vital from that standpoint. The district championship game stands out to me. He really had a really good game, and always, we're battling the DCA boys, with that physical nature. So he can bring that on the defensive end and the offensive end. So we're flexible there in the post. We got several posts that we can rotate in and out, and we want to keep those guys fresh, keep the motor high, and obviously not give up easy buckets on the inside. So very pleased with, what we have coming back on the interior as well.
You talked about gym rats. Some of my friends from up north of here, when I first met you 3 or 4 years ago, I guess 4 years ago, they referred to you as such. I think that's a compliment. So, by the way, just want to tell you that news travels sometime. All right. Are we down to sophomores yet?
We still got some more juniors
All
to
right,
touch
let's roll
on.
through 'em.
So Bryson Stevens,
I forgot.
He's been really good in the offseason for us. He was our JV breakout performer of the year last year as a sophomore. So another guy that can stretch the floor, very capable shooter, got a nice shooting touch on him. And then Kanan Sizemore has came back into our program. He's a junior as well, really quality baseball player. Physical kid, gritty, yes sir, no sir type. So definitely culture-wise fits in really great with our guys and has a good slashing ability and a capable defender. So we're able to build some more depth. Bringing these guys back into our program is definitely going to, add value to what we already have.
They only gave me and you 20 minutes, so that's not fair. So let's make sure any other players you want to touch on, because I do want to talk just a little bit about the region as a whole, because as you said earlier, there's some shape shifting goes on in our region every year, and I'm trying to be kind, and we'll worry about that after a while. But who else you got on there that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, we got sophomore guard coming back, Josh Lewis.
He turned into a scorer last year.
He really helped us down the stretch.
Yep.
When we talked about, JB getting hurt and Jamison being out as well. He stepped up and made some critical shots for us in the regional tournament. Unfortunately for him, he got injured the first game of the football season, so shoulder was out, and we didn't really know what that status was going to be, but I think the rehab has been going really well. So, we expect to get him back at some point this season. So when we do, he'll definitely add a pop for us as far as stretching the floor with the three-point shot. So other than that, we got a very deep freshman class. We got 10 guys coming into our program, which is huge for a Class A school. I think that kind of speaks to the vigor and kind of the excitement we've created, the last couple of years. We've won 40 games the last 2 years, so it's been a pretty good run for Somerset basketball. And, those guys coming in, a couple that just pop out to me, freshman guard Brock Stevens, definitely a capable playmaker. He's really, played well in the preseason. Keaton Getz, really good athlete from the perimeter. Marcus Jones, really good, talented power forward as well. So we're really excited about our freshman class, and they've been battling their tails off as our second group, every day against the guys that we have in right now. So it's definitely making them better as well.
Success breeds success, and again, you've got, like you said, 10 freshmen still in the program. Usually they start falling by the wayside, and in a small school you can't really afford to lose 4 or 5, because in a big school that's out of 30. Now you're losing. I am impressed with the attitude around the program. You want to shout out your coaches just for a second, because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes, and you and I'll talk, but those guys, they don't get enough credit.
Oh, absolutely. Matt Absher, he's our lead varsity assistant. It's kind of my right-hand man. We love ball. We breathe it. We live it. We talk about it daily.
It shows.
He's really done a good job with our zone defense. He's kind of taking the lead on that. I let him run it. It's a passion of his, and we have a really good working relationship. So he does a lot of the scouting piece with me as well. So we've worked really well together, and I give a lot of our success, our credit to our success last year to him as well. Bringing in my brother, Noah Young.
Another gym rat. I remember when he played.
Yeah, so that was a big focal point for me, in the off season, to try to build our staff and try to make it whole and a little bit stronger. And, Noah really has a good relationship with those younger guys. And then our freshman coach is Patrick Butcher. So he's done a good job for us as well. And then the family at home, if I don't say anything, I got yelled at a little bit last week.
Yeah.
I didn't give them a shout out in the other radio show. So babe, hope you're doing well at home with Co. I appreciate all you do.
We're going to talk a little bit about the 12th region, but coaches' wives or coaches' husbands, depending on whether it's male or female coach, they are special because they have to put up with so much. And really, they never get any credit for any of it. So I appreciate you doing that. Okay, the 12th region. Let's flip a coin. You got a magic here. We're going to let you look into the ball and just tell us, who do you look to be at the top of the heap? And I'm going to take the pressure off you. I'm going to put you in the hunt already. Who else is going to be in there with you?
Well, you may be one of the few that have us in the hunt. So
That's
I've seen
okay.
We've seen some things in the preseason, which obviously preseason is preseason. I think we were like 4th last year, and I think Pulaski may have been 6th or 7th. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, and the chemistry and how it meshes throughout the course of the season is the most important thing. But obviously, Pulaski County, they've been on a great run. They're going for a 3-peat. I think that would be, maybe John could tell you later, but maybe that's first one since the 50s or something.
It's been forever.
Somebody's told me that. So, our county in particular is super strong. I got a lot of respect for Coach Fraley, Coach Dunbar, Coach Gover, really 3 quality coaches. So I think, our county's going to be strong. DCA, once again, they have something that in our region that nobody else possesses with the trees and the shot blocking ability, and you got to kind of game plan around that stuff when you play them. And, Lincoln, I think Coach Jackson will have his kids
Every
back
year.
into the hunt. And, off the top of my head, it's just really balanced, man. I've looked at some
Rock
polls.
might have
and
been in that, but they unfortunately,
See,
the injury and
Coach Cash does a great job.
He does.
They were in our preseason event. They're going to play physical. They're going to play hard. But, in our region, I think it's very balanced, and it's just about who can stay healthy, who can get hot at the right time and reel off, 5 in a row. I mean, that's what you're trying to do.
You and I are here in late November.
Mm-hmm.
The team that is here in late November is not the team that'll be on the floor in early March or late February. They'll be the same people, but you grow and you mature and you develop, and just because it looks good on paper now doesn't necessarily mean everything works out.
And I think, that specifically for us really applies.
It does.
For us, we're really trying to learn through the fire, where we're going to get our kids probably, hopefully they win Friday, but if they don't, we get them 2 days before the opener, and you're trying to gel, you're trying to, get schematics down, and, it's a very interesting process of team building, but, like you said, trophies aren't handed out in December. They're handed out in February and March, and that's what you're peaking for all the time as a basketball coach.
I wish we could sit here and talk all night. I love to talk basketball with you, but we're not going to get to. Coach Laughlin's going to join us, and you're going to step out, and I do appreciate it. We will see you soon.
Thank you, brother.
Best of luck, man.
Thank you.
That's Coach Ryan Young of the Briar Jumpers. We're not going to step aside. Andrew Laughlin's going to join us on the fly here. Thank you, Coach. Coach Laughlin's going to step in. How are we doing, sir?
How are you?
I am great. Energy just entered the building.
Always.
How are you,
Gotta
sir?
I'm doing great. How are you this evening?
I am good, and this is Coach Andrew Laughlin of the Lady Jumpers. And, Coach, numbers-wise, you have got a team that's got 5 or 6 players coming back, and we'll get into all the players and bodies and all that. I want you to talk about your kids a whole lot more than I ramble on. But I do want to thank you for joining us.
I'm glad we could be here.
I know it's Thanksgiving, and it's a tight time for a lot of people, and I do appreciate you joining us tonight. Somerset girls basketball, you had Meet the Jumper night last night.
Yes, we did.
It looked like you did it right.
It was a great night. The stands were packed. We got our youth league kids out there. We had our different high school fall and winter sports programs. There's really no better tradition, than a Meet the Jumpers in the Briar Patch with everybody there. I have to give a big shout out to one of my assistants, Jason Rubel, and his 2 sons, Anderson and Ethan. They did a fantastic job setting up the songs, the music. They also made 2 hype videos, which will be released on social media soon if you haven't seen them. I mean, I'm talking like they could be making the hype video for the UK men's team. They were fantastic.
I won't say this, they're family, but they do a great job. And again, I went to Somerset 100 years ago. Graduated in 73, if you want.
That's just a few years ago.
Just 100 years ago. But there have been traditions at that small high school that have carried from even before I was there. Yeah. And it's a wonderful place to be a part of. And if you've never been a Briar Jumper, all you think is that what a silly mascot, a rabbit. But, all right, Coach, let's talk basketball.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I'm going to let you start. You can start with how you've got them on your list. Okay. We'll start. Let's go with you. You run.
All right. Well, I'll kind of go through a few of our players here.
Yes.
I'll go through our senior class first.
Very good.
We have 2 absolutely amazing seniors, senior Devin Hurt and senior Serenity Haynes. Both of them are returning to the program in great standing. They're leaders in the program. They're going to have huge seasons. We got into one of our scrimmages today, and watching Serenity Haynes out on the court and watching Devin out on the court gave us so much pride into this season because we're playing for our 2 seniors. We have 2 amazing juniors. We have Sophie Barnes, who, in my opinion, is one of the top 10 players in the region.
Leading scorer, I think.
Leading scorer, returning, and her role just gets bigger. What I love about Sophie is Sophie's such a selfless player, but we got to try and get her to be a little bit more selfish at times. There's not a bad shot. If Sophie shoots it, you can guarantee your coaching staff told her she needs to be shooting those shots. She's a very talented young lady, and her role just keeps getting bigger and bigger on our team. And then our second junior, who we are absolutely stoked to have back, is Emmy Midden. Emmy Midden came out about a week and a half ago to the team, and she's been a big energy boost. She might be one of the fastest people I've ever seen in my life, and we're super happy to have her back.
Well, I'm glad. I didn't know that, by the way, so I learned something tonight.
Yeah, that's a recent ad for us, and we are super, super excited about that. And she's been just energy. You can tell she's excited to be back, and we're really glad to have her. And then we get into our sophomore class. We have one of our outstanding returning scorers, Sarah White. Sarah's going to be a point guard for us this year, and she's going to play off the ball at times, but her scoring role keeps getting bigger and bigger. What I love about Sarah is she's not afraid of anything.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter the situation. It could be a game winner. It could be up 20, down 20. You're going to see Sarah White giving every last bit of effort that she has. And I really do think she's not only going to be a double-digit scorer this year, but she's going to be pushing it in assists. She's had some really nice reads, and her game has grown a lot over the summer. And then not to get, I kind of used this line on the radio the other night. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, not to get too nerdy, but we kind of have the return of Maddie Cooper this year, and it is great to have her back in our program. Her length, her athleticism, and her ball IQ, we saw it in our first scrimmage, man. After she kind of got settled into rolling and getting through it, you could tell she's got an eye for the game. She's in the right spot at all times, and she's going to be a key contributor. And I don't know if you've seen her play volleyball. She can get up.
Oh,
she
yes,
can get
I
up
have
pretty
seen her
high.
play,
So,
yes.
so she's a great add-on to our team as well.
Take a deep breath. I'll let you catch.
Yeah.
We are at Buffalo Wings and Rings, and this is our Lake Cumberland Sports Coaches Show. We have all 8 local coaches on tonight, and Coach Laughlin, I interrupted you just to give you a chance.
Yeah.
You
I
are
get going.
super. Go get going. Let's go. Let's go right back. Let's jump.
Yeah, absolutely. And that'll take us into our freshman class. We have 2 freshmen this year. Both of them are new to playing basketball, but they have been energetic and they have been fun to have. We have 9th grader Malia Childre and 9th grader Janiyah Dawson. Both new to the game, but they've had a lot of fun, and we got to see them actually get some minutes in. We played a little bit of a freshman scrimmage today, and it was fun seeing them get some action on the court. Janiyah has a really nice shot that's going to develop over time, and I don't know if you see Malia play soccer, but she takes that same intensity onto the basketball court, and you do not want to get in front of her out there. She's going to be playing a lockdown defense, and she's going to be a scorer for us at some point as well. As we continue to move down the roster line, we have 8th grader Lucy Hott. Lucy couldn't be here with us tonight. She's out celebrating some Thanksgiving. But, man, Lucy has developed her game so much. And the best part about Lucy is she's somebody who is selfless for the team. Everything, if you could ask her to go out and, try and score, you can ask her just to play defense. I can say, hey, I just need you to handle the ball in these situations. Just guard this player. She'll do anything she can for the team. She's an extremely selfless player, and she's somebody who's, I'm proud to say, is a Briar jumper. As we move down the line, too, into our 7th grade group, we're going to start off with somebody who I really think is going to be not just like a force in the 12th region, but you're going to see her playing college basketball somewhere down the line. I'm not trying to put pressure on her, but, man, just watching her play, she's a natural with 7th grader Macy Huff.
Okay.
She is an absolute baller, an impact player. She dominated at the middle school level, and she's been dominating at the high school level for us. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you see her in there in crunch time after getting a big rebound, making a big pass. And she's another one who plays the basketball kind of year-round. She's got that IQ for being on the floor, and her teammates love her. It's hard not to love a Macy Huff. And then we have our last 2 7th graders, and they're pretty much just going to play on our freshman team. 7th grader Blair Piles and 7th grader Charlie Wesley. Another 2 kids that absolutely love the game. They're great for us in practice, and they have a great potential here at Somerset, especially as we continue to grow as a program.
I'm ready to go.
Hey,
if whatever, let's go.
Hey, I got if there's a hoop outside. We'll probably go.
No, I'll watch. I'm way past playing. Again, your energy has got to carry over to your basketball team because they see your commitment and excitement to the team. And it's got to be easy to play for somebody like you because you are so positive, and it's not just for our 20 minutes together here tonight. Every time I'm around you, you are a positive person.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I have my moments maybe where, I might have to from time to time.
We sort of do every now and then.
But I think the reason I'm able to be so positive is just because I'm so blessed with the team I have. I mean, these girls are easy to be around. They're coachable. They listen. And shoot, I'm laughing my butt off half the time just because they're so much fun to be around. So having a team like this makes it easy to be positive. Are there ups and downs in the season? Are there ups and downs in practice? Yeah. Are there times where we may struggle or we have to grow or we really have to focus? Yes. But those struggles become easier because of the great team we have, the great people we have, the great coaching staff we have, the great community we have at Somerset.
Let's shout out your coaching staff.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about them because they do a lot of work and get very little credit.
Yeah, I always say being an assistant's one of those jobs where the coaches know, the players know, and the parents know, but usually that's about it. And we have some amazing assistant coaches here. We've actually added to our lineup this year with a volunteer assistant who I'll start with is Abby Hurt. She's somebody who just volunteered. She's not getting paid. She's out here because she loves the girls, and she's coaching at our youth league level. She coached at our middle school level. She's helping out with our freshman team, and she's an assistant on the varsity team. And we couldn't be more happy to have her. She is Devin Hurt's sister-in-law, and it's just fantastic to have her on the staff. She has a great basketball background, and she brings that fiery spirit, and I love to see that fiery spirit in practice. And then we have our next two assistants. I kind of pair them up together because they're just always together. Michael Dobbs and Adam Haste. Just two great individuals who I can't tell you how much they care about the team and the girls, and they'll go out of their way to do anything and everything they can to make this community, make this program better. They're also coaching at our middle school level, and so they're going pretty much year-round now with middle school girls kind of going summer into October. So I'm so thankful for them. And then, we have the legend of Somerset, Jason Rubel, right? Jason Rubel is a staple, right, in the Somerset community. If something's being done at Somerset, he probably has some kind of way he's helping out, whether it's solar car, football, tennis, girls basketball, anything technology-wise. He's just the man, and we're very blessed to have Jason on our staff. He's a great man.
Well, that's a really good staff. And you need something to drink, or are you okay?
I'm all right. I'm just getting over a little,
all right.
little bug.
I'm going to try to get you something brought over. You need to slow down.
I can't help it. We're talking ball. I'll get going fast.
This is year 2, right?
Yep, year 2.
And you have obviously team goals and team. I'm not going to ask you to lay those out. Those are your alls. But again, if you were to just look at the big picture, and you and I are 6 months from now, and we're just sitting around talking, what would you consider the step that you're trying to make with this program? Because let's just be honest, you have got a underaged basketball program.
Yeah, I think we do. I think for us, everything is about competition.
Yes.
Whether it's a one-on-one drill in practice, whether it's a shooting drill, whether it's a scrimmage, a game, we got to become a team that has that automatic competition. We don't come out kind of a little bit shy, right? And I don't mean that as any disrespect to our program. We just got to get to that point where we're the team jumping on the team originally. Because if you watch a lot of our games, maybe it's the first 4 minutes of the game, things don't quite go our way, and then we settle in and we battle back, or we get consistent, right? We got to find that off the rip rather than a few minutes in. But you said in about 6 months from now, I'd love to be seen as that team who won. Nobody wants to play because they know anything can happen on any night. But we've seen some great growth in our program with some of our younger girls setting us up going forward, because as a coach, you're always worried about this year, but you're always worried about the next year. And I think we have the program going in the right direction, especially with our youth league and middle school programs. So that's what it is. It's going to be competition and growth for us.
And you and I both know that at a school the size of Somerset, direction is huge. Absolutely. Because if it goes a little better, then somebody else wants to be a part of it, or somebody else wants to get involved, and somebody else wants to do the time and the hard work. And I don't know if people even have a clue how much time kids put into these sports now. Used to, it was not quite like it is now. There is, you said earlier, one of your coaches and he even brings a glass of water to the coach. I guess he deserves some sort of shout out. What do you think?
Again, staple of Somerset, helping out everybody in the community.
That was good. If he wasn't family, I'd say something nice about him. Once again, Coach, but let's get back to your goals for your basketball team are yours.
Yep.
In between. But I'm with you. You've got to see progress. Progress doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come in a straight line usually. No, really, it has the starts and stops. But again, your basketball team, if you can keep kids motivated and hungry and play the way you're talking about playing, things will happen well.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think you made the the great point there of what we want to be is we know it's not going to be just a straight line. There's going to be those starts or stops, or you may hit a little bit of a valley, but we have to get that buy-in and that commitment. And that's what we're starting to see. And one of my favorite parts about Somerset that you talked about, we are a little bit smaller, so we want our girls to play multiple sports because that's how we become successful. So sometimes we don't get to see our girls year-round, but that's completely fine because, one, they're high schoolers. They need a little break. But we're getting to see other programs be successful, and we have some great programs at Somerset.
You do, and occasionally an athlete excels so much at another sport that they concentrate 100. You know where I'm going with this. And Tori Robertson would have been a very valuable piece to your basketball team.
Yeah, without a
doubt.
doubt.
But she's going to play soccer at a high level and has made a decision that I support anytime. I always tell kids, until somebody tells you they're going to let you play on Saturday or Sunday, play every sport they'll let you play.
We couldn't be more proud of Tori as a program, as a coaching staff. I would say we went to at least 75% of the soccer games this year to root them on, made it into the district tournament, the region tournament to support them. Ben's an outstanding coach as well, and we wish her all the best as she goes, and hopefully we'll be able to catch a game or two at the Cumberlands next year.
Let's hope so. We're going to have your team a handful of times plus this year. Looking forward to it. I think we've got 3 or 4 more minutes. I see they're interviewing some of your players over to our left, and those will be posted. And we get a whole lot of feedback, and I can tell you that I've been around several of your basketball players. They are classy young ladies too, and that's important to me that we're putting out athletes who behave like young ladies or young men. And I love that about your program because I know you set an example in front, and it's not a facade, it's for real.
It is. For me, that's always very important is who are you going to be after basketball? Who are you going to be after school? And to be honest with you, what makes it a lot easier on me is we have some amazing parents as well.
You've
so
got some
our
good
parents, our staff, and our players all together get that together. We have some really, really good girls who just treat everything with the utmost respect, and it's awesome to see.
So we're going to pack the Briar Patch this year.
Yeah.
Tell everybody to come on out. If you've not attended a high school basketball game at the Briar Patch, you've missed one little piece of what everybody ought to experience sometime.
Absolutely. We'd love to see you all for our first game, December 3rd at home against Lynn Camp this year. It'll be a freshman and varsity game. We'd love to have everybody come out. And around Christmas time, we're going to be hosting a Christmas tournament. We got some good teams coming in from out of the area: Corbin, Boyd County, Tates Creek, Menifee County, Lincoln County. Some of those schools are coming in. So December 27th and 28th, if you have some family in town, come on down to the Briar Patch and watch yourself a game or two. It'll be the Don Hurt Insurance Holiday Classic.
I love it.
What a name, right? What a name. But
I'll tell you what, if you will get Jason, since he doesn't have anything else to do, and we know he's slacking most of the time, if you'll get him to drop me some information, I'll make sure we get it published. We've got a pretty good, not to brag, but a pretty good size footprint
That'd be
anymore.
awesome.
And I'll be glad to get the information out about who's playing, when, and where, and those kind of things. And if there's, if you need to get information out about fees or whatever to get into the game. But it would be great to see the Don Hurt Insurance Classic be stuffed.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. We do have some good teams coming in for some good competition. But we have a lot of big games coming up this season, and one of the things I just wanted to say with this continued growth for our program is when you come watch these girls, wait till you see how they play together, right? We don't have, like I said, even with the Sophie, who we got to tell her to shoot a little bit more, the way they want to share the ball, the way they congratulate each other, the way they pick each other up, it brings a smile to my face.
We're not quite ready to wrap this up, but I do want to thank you for your time, and we are at Buffalo Wings and Rings on South 27. This is Lake Cumberland Sports. Look at things go cutting it out right there, or is it just me?
It might have been just me.
Okay, it was probably me. We are at Buffalo Wings and Rings. This is the annual coaches show. We have got 8 coaches with us tonight, And I know you had to make some arrangements to be with us, Coach. So
I'm glad we can make it happen.
I know, but I want you to know how much we appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you guys greatly, and I'm glad we can make it work because this is a great night, not just to showcase just the Somerset girls, but everybody in our community. And we're greatly appreciative of the coverage you guys give our high school sports in the area.
Let's also make sure we point out that for everyone, I hope you have a healthy, happy, blessed Thanksgiving holiday.
Thank you. You also. I appreciate that very much.
We are going to wrap this up in just a minute, but I don't see our next pitcher in the bullpen, so you and I'll just continue to
You just
talk.
keep coming at me. I got
All
whatever.
right, throw anything at me you want. How about we'll mention Coach Burkett.
Okay.
I call him Coach, the athletic director at Somerset. I knew him as a coach many years ago. He is he's really good to us, and I know he's good to you guys.
Oh yeah.
So I want to shout out to him because we're sometimes a pain in the backside to a comment. Well, I mean, really, you show up, we try to let people know we're coming and all that kind of stuff, but occasionally, we catch an AD or a coach off guard, and you guys tolerate us, and I do appreciate that.
Well, Coach Burkett's absolutely fantastic, especially for me not being from the area when I moved down here. He's done a great job of helping me get accommodated at Somerset High School, and I'm very appreciative of him.
All right, I'm about to talk to Coach Laughlin out. He's going to have to tap out on me here.
I'm not lasting very well, am I?
Coach, best of luck. We're going to see you
Thank
down
you
the
so
road.
much.
Have a blessed Thanksgiving.
You too.
We will see you soon.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
We're going to step out. When we come back, Bob Boone and John Fraley will occupy these seats. This is the Coaches Show from Lake Cumberland Sports. Pat, we're ready to step out. John Fraley.
Sir, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175 too. I 200 down, down again, here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Welcome back. We've swapped out. I have no idea how we're going to follow Mike Kerr, the man, the myth, the legend.
A legend.
Absolutely. Coach John Fraley, Pulaski County Maroons, and welcome to our annual coaches show. You're getting to be an old timer at
I'm
this
getting to
thing.
be the
I'm
old
sorry,
man
did
in
I
the
just
group.
say? Yeah, I just.
I am, yep, I sure am getting to be the old guy here.
Well, congratulations, first of all, on the season last year. You got your second back-to-back regional championships, going for the three-peat this year. Is that putting any kind of pressure on you?
Not really. At this point, it's, if anything's, I guess it's all gravy, as they say, it's all extra.
Pull your mic a little closer there. We'll see. There we go. It was dropped out just a second.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. All right. Well, Coach, first of all, last season, as you said, another trip to Rupp Arena. You got the perfect draw. Got the number one team in the state to start with. And, but with all of that said, it is the most unique tournament event, I think, in high school sports in the United States. And people outside of Kentucky have no idea what it means to go to Rupp Arena and play in the Sweet 16 because you won a regional championship. Talk about, your feelings and the kids and what they dealt with last year real quick.
Yeah, to me, there's nothing like it. And honestly, for any kid that grows up in the state of Kentucky playing basketball, that's your ultimate goal, is to get to play at Rupp, because that's where the Cats play, and that's where everybody – you feel no matter how the year ends after that, if you can get to Rupp, it's been a successful year. And, we've been fortunate enough to get there the last 2 years and make some dreams come true for some kids, and which is why we got into this and why we do it, trying to get as many kids there as we can and let them experience that dream. But yeah, nobody outside this, nobody else does what we do, in football in football you've got classes, and in most states you have classes like we do in football. And so for us to have one true state champion and to say that you're one of the 16 best in the state is a pretty special thing.
And what it means to the communities, too. When you talk about and you see some of these schools from some of these more remote, rural Appalachian towns or little towns, and they, man, they've hit the jackpot when they, and they shut down the towns and show up. So, all right, well, let's just make plans to get back there again this year so we can all go and enjoy the fun. But, you had a great season last year. You coming into 2024-25, and the great thing about high school basketball is you're always having to fill some spots.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about your roster for this season.
We lose last year. We lost two big keys there with Will Blankenship and Jalen Woolridge. Both carried a big load for us. They both hit over 53. So we've had to figure out how we're going to replace that, and the good thing about last year, and not really a good thing about an injury, but, when Carson was out for extended periods last year, it gave some opportunities for some other kids to step up. So instead of those kids not having any experience coming into this year, we've got some kids with a lot of experience coming back. And then we've got some good young kids that I say this every year, but it's a fact. The job that we have that people do for us at the middle school, Shannon has been there, and he finally gave that up after 15 years, and now I've got Colton over there and Chris Fitzgerald and some people like that. The job they do lets us, be competitive every year. So when the kids come to us, they're really close to being ready to play and ready to compete, and so, we've got some freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that are really going to step up this year.
Let's go through your roster if you want, and just talk about some of these kids.
Yeah, with the senior class, we've got Gavin Cookin and Ethan Idlewine and Foster Fraley, my son, coming back, and all three of those guys played in about 35 games last year, which is, that's a big deal. Gavin is a kid that has made himself into one of the best shooters in the region, if not the best. I think he's probably the best. I think he was something of like 14 of 20 in the postseason last year from three, so... and then you got Ethan Idlewine is a big, strong kid that has skill and just has been he's a great football player, and he's a great basketball player too. He just knows where to be. He has a nose for the ball and plays extremely well off of Carson. And we look really forward to him having a big year as well. And Foster was a guy that come in last year and always gave us the spark. He always got he was there on the defensive rotations and got the rebound when we needed. We're down 10 or 11 to Mercer in the semifinals, and he come in and got two big steals for us, hit a three, and so we're looking for him to have a bigger role this year as well. So we're going to rely on those three seniors a lot, and then you step into the junior class, and of course Carson's junior now, but feels like he's probably a fifth or sixth year senior, as many years as it seems like he's played. But, he's finally healthy, got two good knees. Last year at the end of the year, looked like he might have been playing in the Y League, but he's gotten healthy and gotten in shape. And then another kid that played 35 games last year is Zach Anderson, who had a big football year, great quarterback and just a really great athlete. Adds a dimension to us where he can guard multiple positions and can score the ball in bunches once he gets into basketball shape. So we look forward to him having a big year for us as well. And then we got a transfer. A kid moved in over the summer from Wayne County named Seth Farmer. He's about 6'7", and is truly he can play inside and out, but he's going to be the first guy we've had in several years that can play with his back to the basket and really, really make a difference. That's going to be a different dimension we haven't had in a few years. And so He played a bunch last year at Wayne County, and we look for him to have an immediate impact. He has in the 2 scrimmages that we've had so far. He's done a really good job for us. And like I said, he's not just a back to the basket guy. He's really increased his ability to step out on the floor, so we've been really pleased with that too. And then we've got another junior named Nish Patel who he played a lot for us in JV, did a great job last year. He's a kid that can help us stretch the floor because he shoots the ball extremely well. He's just got to figure out some things in other parts of the game, but we look for him to be able to help us as well a little bit. And then in the sophomore class, we've got 4 or 5 kids there that have played together, won a state championship in middle school together, and it starts with Cade Hargis is the guy that's. Cade is a guard that's he's stepped in and handled the ball handling responsibilities this year a little bit to help Carson out while the football guys weren't there, and we looked like he's a guy that can help us defend on the perimeter. He's strong, stocky kid, but he's extremely quick, and he's done a really great job this fall and early parts of the year helping us with the ball handling and defending. So we look for he's going to give us some quality minutes this year. He got a little bit of run last year as a freshman, but we look for him to really have a big year, a breakout year for us as well. And Brady Blankenship is another kid. He's been hurt this fall, but he had a knee injury, and he's still trying to get back from that. But he's another guy that can help stretch the defense a little bit, and he continues to get better defensively every day. And so we're happy with that. And another kid, Cam Measle, he's a kid that had a big year last year playing JV as a freshman. We've been fortunate all those kids got a lot of JV minutes last year. So as sophomores, we look for them to be able to play a little bit more. Cam is a very athletic, strong kid and can score in a bunch of ways. So we think he can help us at the varsity level as well this year. So and Maddox Cup is another kid in practice that's come a long way. He's another sophomore we have. And then we have 5 or 6, 8 freshmen. I won't go through all those, but a couple of them. Tanner Apsher is one of them that has really stepped up in practice so far. He's a kid that's developing and figuring out the speed of the game at the next level and the physicality of it. And once he gets that figured out, which he's doing, I'll be honest, he's surprised me and done a lot better job than I thought he would. And my other son, Blake Fraley, is a freshman guard who he's done a good job of pushing the varsity in practice. So I've been happy with that.
Fantastic. It just sounds like you've got a nice, well-rounded roster with some good senior leadership that can kind of take over. You mentioned a couple of guys that are going to come over from the football field. Does that affect, how you schedule season in and season out? I know you've got one district game probably before the football guys are completely ready, but I know because it takes a little time, different sports, different set of conditioning and all of that. But, do you think about those things when you schedule going into the season?
Well, and you saying football made me realize I forgot one of my freshmen, Connor Blevins, who's a guy you all are very familiar with on the football field. He's about a 6'2" or 3" guy that's a load in the middle that we're gonna look to lean on a little bit too this year. We think he can help us definitely at the JV and maybe at the varsity level, depending on the conditioning issue. But yeah, taking the football, anymore, I'll be honest, we can't really take that into consideration because we just have to play people who will play us. I was telling somebody out there, we've got 4 region teams that won't play us, and it's hard to get a schedule sometimes, and so you kind of just got to take it whenever you can take it. We went to J-Town last year, the first weekend of the season. They're coming back to us this year, and there was a pretty good chance we might not have those football kids that week. So you just kind of schedule how you can schedule, and we just try to play as tough a schedule as we possibly can, even if it means we lose a few early, because we're trying to, like I told them, we played Saturday at the Fox 56 thing at GRC, and it was a big environment. It felt, I'm not going to say like a regional game, but it was a big game. It was a big environment, and a lot of stuff going on. And I told our kids, we're just going to put ourselves in those situations as many times as we can, so that when you're in the regional finals or the semifinals, it feels like another game.
Had to be a great experience, though, for those kids, even though I might have fired off an email to Fox 56 myself, being an Ohio State alum. But it is good for the kids, and that's fantastic. And that's one reason we love doing what we do, because we love to give those kids the exposure. So It seems like in this 47th district, the philosophy has been, let's get the district schedule finished, and then, maybe in the first half, or it would go as late as maybe 2/3 through the season. What is behind that philosophy when you make your schedule?
Of getting the district games done?
Yes, getting them done early.
Well, the quicker you can get them done, the quicker you can get the seedings done and know, who you're going to play and have a better chance of when you're going in the tournament, having a really good scout and being all that. So you try to get your district games. Try to get one before Christmas, just because if you don't, it's hard to get them all in. When you play home and home with everybody, that's 6 games automatically that are scheduled for you out of the 30. You take 3 or 4 pre-Christmas, tournament, 3 or 4 post-Christmas tournament. Now you're to 15, 16 games, and your schedule's about done.
Right.
So you got to get those district games done and get those scheduled. We try to do boy girls to keep to where it's everybody can come instead of having it. If we played the same night or different places, so that everybody gets to come and support both teams. But sometimes the schedules don't work. This is the first year we're actually not going to have every one of them be boy girl. I think us and the boys, Somerset boys, maybe not have we don't have a boy girl for the first time since I've been coaching.
One more question on that subject a little bit. How does that affect your JV scheduling, though? Because when you play a boy-girl doubleheader, then your JVs, the girls' JVs, they miss out on a game.
Absolutely. That's the only, I'll tell you, that's a big part of, that's, the only drawback I have on it is that the JV teams a lot of times are, I don't know how often our JV team has played Casey or Rock. The good thing is and we do the same thing with Southwestern. We play boy-girl with them too. But what me and Coach Young and Coach Dunbar try to do is we try to play the JV game before the girls. So we'll come in and play the JV game at 5. The girls play at 6, and then the varsity at 7:30, so that those kids don't miss that opportunity.
Good deal. You don't do this all by yourself. Talk about your staff a little bit and the other people that support your program.
I just, I can't begin to tell you how lucky I am to have had the staff that I have, and I've had them pretty much since I've been there. Of course, I've got Shannon, and he's been there with me through the whole thing, and he's been the middle school guy, but then comes up and helps with the high school when the middle school's over, and he's kind of stepped away from the middle schools, so he's going to be with us more this year, and just does a great job, great mind for the game, and I've got Chris Blankenship, another guy who's been with us since the beginning, and just a guy that eats, sleeps, and breathes it and loves it. And, he's there, he just loves to compete and to make kids better, so I'm really thankful to have him around. And got a couple guys that have played for me. Blake Burton, Blake we had a moment this summer, and he said something about somebody helping somebody, and I said, I probably shouldn't tell you this, Blake, but you're pretty rare air, son. For somebody to be your age to be as committed as you are to this, and to come and do what you do, and I said, and to have the knowledge and the mind that you have, I said, I can't tell you how appreciative I am of that. And then I luck into another one with Colton right behind him, Colton Fraley, my nephew, who played for me and was like a coach on the floor, and now does a great job in our feeder program. He's going to coach our freshmen this year, and like I said, in the middle school program, you got Kevin Measle and Chris Fitzgerald and John Wood. Those guys are helping Colton over there, and you just all hands. It's a family deal, and we try to keep it all one big program and include everybody. And we had a middle school game Monday or Tuesday night, and we probably had 12 high school kids there supporting those kids. So we try to keep it a family.
Indeed. Well, and speaking of family, of course, there's been a Fraley for a long time. Are we ever going to run out of them?
We finally are, I think. And we've got 2 freshmen, Camden.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
I mean, it's, there's been quite a bit of success.
Yeah. We've got 4 that'll be on the bench this year. I've got 2, and Shannon's got 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Now, when y'all get together, Thanksgiving, do you get any tips from Dad or anything like that? Does he chime in?
Absolutely, yeah. I get a call about every day about it, and we talk basketball and talk life and just talk kids. But there's always, he tries not to watch as much anymore. Gets him a little riled up, but he always watches when it matters. That's for sure.
Well, that's special. Anything else? We've got about a minute or so here. Anybody else you want to shout out? I know your first game you opened at home against Madison Central, a team that you guys were able to knock off last year, and I think opened a lot of eyes across the state right away.
Yeah, we've opened with them several years and have been able to have some luck there. They're a good program. Coach Feldhouse, obviously a state champion, does a great job, and we feel like if we can open up competing like that, it gives us a good gauge of where we might be for the rest of the year, and that was kind of Wheel the Blankenships coming out party last year. So we'll have another couple of guys that'll kind of show out that night and have a breakout year. And I just want to say thanks to all the parents who do so much for us. We've had some 6 a.m. practices this year and done a lot of stuff that they have to get up and help those kids get to, and just the support and that we have. And Christy Fraley, my sister-in-law, she does a phenomenal job with the concession stand and with the boosters period and everything. And there's so many people that go into having a program, and I can't say thank you enough to all of them.
Well, we look forward to making our visit to the big house. I don't know what our broadcast schedule. I know we're doing a couple extra games this year, so
look forward to
we
having you.
always enjoy it. We always appreciate your hospitality. You've got, Coach Miller does a great job taking care of us, the press guys, and we thank you for always just being hospitable and always taking a moment to talk with us.
Well, I appreciate it, and like you said, our administration is first class. Coach Miller and Ms. Hoff and Cody Wesley and Stephen Godby have already done a great job. They're a new new staff this year, but they've already done a great job supporting us. We couldn't do it without them, and thank you all.
All right. Well, thank you very much,
right.
Coach John Fraley, head coach of the Pulaski County Maroons. We're going to pause. We're not taking a break. We're just going to pause momentarily as we get Coach Chris Adkins for the Pulaski County girls team in here. Going to talk to him here in just a moment. And again, thank you to Buffalo Wings and Rings, always gracious hosting us, and we do appreciate everything that they do for us. As Coach Chris Adkins with the girls program, he'll make his way in. I'm going to push a button here or two and make sure I get the right information up. But basketball season is right around the corner, as we said. Coach Fraley's bunch, the boys, they'll take on Madison Central Tuesday, actually, December 3rd. So it's coming up fast. And I'll just get this gentleman to put that headset on so we can chat a little bit. Coach Chris Adkins, how are you, sir?
Doing great. Good to see you.
Fantastic. Good to see you, and we're glad to have you. And make sure, I'm good. It's appreciate you coming by. I know it's a busy time of the year. You're getting ready for basketball season, and of course, tomorrow being Thanksgiving. I understand, it's a busy time, but I appreciate you taking the time. Coach, last year, maybe didn't finish the way you would have liked it, but as I told Coach Fraley off the air a moment ago, this is a great time of the year because everybody's in first place.
Yes. We're in first place today, and hopefully with improvement as we go along this year, we'll be able to get to that point. So we're young and inexperienced.
Well, and you do have a few girls coming back, but you mentioned some inexperience there. Let's go ahead and talk about the ladies you've got on your roster this season.
Okay. We have one senior, Taylor Ralston. She was our first girl off the bench last year. She's a tremendous shooter, and we're going to rely on her point production this year, trying to replace the scoring that we've lost since last year. So she's having a good preseason. She got injured second game into the summer ball, so she only had 2 games under her belt this summer, and but she's eager to go, and we're excited to have her. And we have 3 juniors. Madeline Butcher, this will be her 3rd year starting as our point guard.
Right.
She's a tremendous competitor. We are vertically challenged this year. We're maybe not the tallest team in the world, but our heart, these girls' hearts, is amazing. And Madeline has played a lot of basketball, played a lot of travel ball, and she's getting some recruiting looks, and we're excited to have her back for the third year starting for us. And then Hannah Murray was a starter last year. She's back. She's a guard also. And she had some big moments last year for us. She's very athletic. She plays multiple sports. She's a track star, cross country.
She was a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
You could watch her develop as the season went on, and it was exciting. And of course, that's one of the great things we get to do with all the teams. We get to see how some of these kids, grow up, not just from season to season, but from the start of the season to as they progress towards the postseason and stuff. And she was one that stuck out in my mind. And
she's very athletic, and she's really worked on her shot, and we're seeing some real good things out of her this fall so far, and we're looking forward to see where that goes as we move on down. Anna Ross is the other junior. She's a forward, one of our taller girls, about 5'8", and she's not had much varsity experience, but she had a good summer, and she played some travel ball, and she's a girl that we're going to be able to utilize in our system. We have a couple 10th graders. Bella Stevens is our post player. She had spot minutes last year. She's about 6 foot, 6'1", and really has worked on the weights and improved her skills, and had a really good summer for us, and we're excited to have her. The other sophomore is Layla Bray, and she's the most improved player I've ever dealt with. She came to us as a 7th grader, and just has a tremendous work ethic, stays after every day. So we're excited to have Layla Bray on our program. The next graders are four freshmen that are all going to be varsity players this year. They were part of our freshman JV program last year that were regional champs. They won both of them. Mm-hmm. And we're excited what they're going to bring to our varsity program this year. And great athletes. They were 8th grade state champions, 6th grade state champions. So they've got a lot of talent and a lot of basketball savvy. So we're excited to have them. And then we've got a couple 8th graders that'll be playing varsity basketball this year. And Kate Miller was with us last year as a 7th grader, and she's really improved, and we're excited to see her progression. And then Grayson Cook has a lot of talent. She played a lot of JV freshmen for us last year. She has a lot of upside, and we're excited to have her in our program.
Very good. Coach, talk a little bit about your coaching staff. I know you don't do all of this alone. There's a lot of hours that go into this. Coaching at the high school level, it's a very rewarding profession, an honorable profession for sure, but it sure doesn't pay like it.
No,
but
and I feel
you can't
guilty.
do it alone.
I feel guilty sometimes, what they make, and then we ask them, and they're happy to be there, and they love being there. But we've had 9 6 a.m. practices this year since October 15th, and then we play every Saturday from this Saturday forward through February. So it's just a big obligation. But I've had the first one, Teresa Kelly. She's been with us the whole time. I've been there 8 years now. This is our 8th year. We call her Coach C, and she knows when I'm breathing wrong, or when the hat goes around backwards, and she can read me like a book. So she's a great, tremendous help, and the girls love her. Robert Jones has been with us this will be his 3rd year. He retired as a boys basketball coach and athletic director at McCreary County, and he was a little bored just playing golf. You can't play golf in the winter unless you go south, so I talked him into helping us, and he loves it. He really loves the girls. The girls love him. He brings a lot to the table, and keeps me even keeled during games and after losses and before games, and keeps me on an even keel. And then the last assistant we have at the high school level is Brad Woodcock, and this is his 3rd year with us. He came over from Wayne County. His wife and him both teach at the high school now, and they got a couple of girls that play in our younger program at the middle school, and just invested in the program there with us, and we love having Brad with us.
Anybody else support staff that you want to give a shout out? Because a lot of
I-
times you got, some students or some other folks that help out and boosters, all that.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Greg Blevins. He's been our middle school coach for the last several years, and he does a great job, and he teaches our system and knows it inside and out, and so he's a big help to us.
It really helps when you've got somebody at your feeder programs that believes in what you're doing and wants to teach those systems. It makes it easier, I'm sure, when those girls come up.
It does. It does, and it's a big part of what I think is the right thing to do. So we've been fortunate that the administration has allowed that to happen. Brian Miller's our athletic director, tremendous athletic director. I don't know. I'm not going to critique anybody else, but he does everything for us. He's supportive. He's the backbone of the athletic department at Pulaski County Schools.
And just as an announcer who's been there multiple times, Brian's always great to us. We appreciate everything, all of the folks out there at the school, and not to mention it's a pretty cool place to come watch a basketball game, and you get to open up at home. Is this part of a boy-girl doubleheader with Madison Central, or you just both got them first on the schedule this year in the big house?
Yeah, we're playing them Monday, and John's playing them Tuesday. So we have every other year when the girls host the region, we have multiple games at home because everybody wants to come play from our region in the gym that they're going to hopefully play in the regional tournament. So last year we had very few home games. This year we've got a lot of home games, and it works out every other year that we're just don't have to get on that cheese box as many times.
Is that part of your philosophy when scheduling is not the cheese box, but trying to get as many of your regional opponents? I mean, obviously the districts, you do a home and home with them, but to try and get as many districts, get a look at them, as many as possible?
Sure. West Jessamine is picked by many to win our region this year, and they've got everybody back, and we're playing them twice this year. We didn't play them last year till the regional tournament, and I thought that was important to get a look at them, before the regional tournament. So we have them on our schedule twice. So, and yes, the downside is that 8 years ago when we took this program over, everybody wanted to play us, and that's not the case anymore. It's tough sometimes to get a schedule without going out of region when you have a reputation that your program's improved and it's competitive. So
you don't shy away from anybody. You pick some of those even out of the region, some pretty tough opponents. Madison Central, and that's just one. I see Assumption on here.
They have 6 Division I players this year. All 6 of them are transfers. That seems to be the big thing nowadays is you just go out and recruit you a team. So
I get it.
So
but
we play Pikeville. They're favored to win the 14th. We play Ashland. They're favored to win the 16th. We play Madison Central and Frederick Douglass, who were picked 1-2 in their 11th region. So we don't.
You're going to get tested, but
yes, and we need that. And as long as you don't get annihilated and get distraught and disappointed to the point that you give up, and I don't think we do. We won't have that type of team, but it'll be challenging. And the more challenging we have a schedule, I think the better off we'll be at the end of the year if we can stay healthy.
Coach, you start your district schedule off the December 13th, I believe it is, with Casey County. And, of course, talking to Coach Fraley, you do a lot of boy-girl doubleheaders district-wise. And so your schedules kind of mirror each other there when you talk about those, getting those district games in fairly early in the first half of the season or more. Is that something that you like? Do you prefer it that way?
I don't like it at all. I just feel like and we've tried to move the December games, and some of the schools like the December games, but we have multiple sport players at our school, you know, and it,
Yes.
you know, John, you know, has got the football kids. We've had volleyball, and we've had cross country kids, and we've had soccer kids, and time you get them in the gym, you know, and then you're asking them to play a game that means something. The district seed games, you know, by the end of the year, they really mean something. So in the second, third week of the season, I just don't think it's appropriate. But that's the hand we're dealt, and that's what we go with. So.
And we talked about with Coach Fraley as well. The other thing it has a profound effect on that I've heard coaches say over the years is it limits JV game exposure, especially against district opponents when you play boy-girl doubleheader. I get it; it's good because you get good crowds, you know, to come to watch. You know, a 2-for-1. It's like doubleheaders in baseball, but does that, you know, how do you make up for that, you know, missing some of those JV games, especially against district opponents?
You ask your underpaid assistant coaches to go out every week and play 2 or 3 extra nights. You know, we've got a freshman JV schedule on top of the varsity JV schedule, and I think there's an additional 13 nights and days that they play a doubleheader freshman JV in addition to practicing that day with us, and to find those dates that are available outside of your varsity schedule, it makes it very tough.
I'm sure it does. Talk a little bit about the 47th district. It's always a fun district to watch, and then we'll go from there into the rest of the 12th region. But what's the 47th district look like this year? There's been a lot of you coaches, a couple of you have been around a while when I think about you and Christy Noble at Rockcastle.
I went scout Danville Christian and Rockcastle last year at Danville Christian, and I don't remember for sure, but I think they said it was her 1,000th game or something. You know, she's been coaching before they started full court basketball. I think she's been around, a legend. I love Christy. We get along great. We compare ideas on the phone all the time, and she's a competitor that I love to compete against. She knows
a competitor,
her team.
and she's always willing. She talks to us, and I think last year I just stood there and listened to you two talk basketball about who was going to do what to who or how and all of that, and I know that she thinks a lot of you as well, and she's been good for this district and this region and
State
promotes.
champion,
and
you know,
she's a state champion coach.
You know, that's a legend.
Yeah,
I mean, every coach, no matter what level, how long you've been at it, that's something you would really dream about. So she's accomplished
Coach Laughlin over at Somerset, he's, you know, trying to rebuild a program over there, and then Casey County's had their struggles a little bit, but 12th region-wise, are we going to pick Pulaski County to be at the top of that region, or
you know,
how do you feel like you match up
preseason
against?
stuff? You know, they picked us fourth or something. You know, that's a little aggressive, I think, maybe, but I think by the end of the year, if everybody stays healthy, we'll be in that range, I think. You know, West Jessamyn's got everybody back. They don't have a senior on the team. They've got one of the better juniors in the state. Sophomore, she's a sophomore, and so they're well deserving a top pick. And then of course you got Danville Christian. You know, they've got some rather tall athletes up there from, I don't know where they came from, but they're rather tall. And Grace is playing Division I basketball next year at Louisville, which is a tremendous accomplishment.
Yeah.
And it's something that's, you know, where our team's vertically challenged. That's going to be a tough nut to cut, but we're going to give them a try.
How does your coaching philosophy change when you talk about, you know, you've mentioned vertically challenged a couple of times. I mean, we've seen teams that they're in that shape or that condition or have a roster with those who are, you know, shorter stature but can still compete. What is it? What kind of things do you do differently?
You know, we're gonna try to push the ball up and down the floor as fast as we can go, get an early shot, play aggressively on defense the best we can, trap when we can, block out as good as we can, and go down the floor and get a quick shot before we turn it over.
Sounds like a plan. It's a simple game, right? You pass well, you shoot well, you hustle.
If you score more than the other team, I've been noticing
the other team. All right,
we win those games.
I get you. Coach, you got 1 minute. Anything else you want to say to anybody else before we head out here?
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my wife. She's put up with a lot of hours when I sit on the couch and watch game film and dwell on things that happened at practice that day. And I've been doing this for about 30 years now, off and on. And
congratulations.
I just appreciate what she's contributed to.
And when they show up at the gym, they get to hear a lot of the chatter, don't they? That I get it, and that's a tough job too.
It's tough. She's learned over the years maybe to sit by herself.
I get it.
We have a lot of 4-year friends,
get
you know.
Indeed. Hey, I umpired baseball once, and my wife says, "You either quit or I'm not going anymore." Because it's tough. But hey, I appreciate it. Want to wish you the best of luck. You take on Madison Central Monday. That's coming up real quick. Monday, December 2nd. That's going to be at the Big House, 7:30 tip-off for your varsity girls. I want to wish you well. We look forward to seeing you out there. I know we're going to do a couple extra games this year. So
Good.
Lots of basketball on
We're
Lake
glad to
Cumberland
have you.
Sports.
Y'all do a great job.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Coach Chris Adkins with the I just about messed that up. Pulaski County Lady Maroons. We're going to step out, take a break, and I think Mike Kerr's coming back in here, and he's going to visit with the good folks from Southwestern High School. We'll be back right after this.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I-200 down and got it here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
And good evening, everyone. Coach, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
That's good. I've got some kind of echo thing going on. Can you hear it?
I can hear pretty good. Pretty fine.
I have got some kind of echo thing going on. I'm good now. It went away. It was this. Yeah, I can hear. You hear?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry about that. That was all on me. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Buffalo Wings and Rings on our Lake Cumberland Sports look at high school basketball, and we are past the midpoint, Coach, as we've got 8 interviews to do tonight.
Yeah.
I'm joined by Coach Ron Dunbar of Southwestern, and Coach, first of all, thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Hope you have a blessed Thanksgiving.
You too.
I saw a blessing running around out there that belongs to you, and that kind of takes all the rest of this and puts it in place.
It does, yeah.
Glad to have you with us once again. This is Lake Cumberland Sports Look at Basketball, and you have got a basketball team. This is your 4th year, if I'm not mistaken, at Southwestern. Started out with a big hill to climb. I'm just trying to be honest.
Yeah.
And you have managed to every year push it further. Mm-hmm. Got into the region last year, and got a pretty good-looking basketball team coming back this year. Your name keeps coming up among people around the 12th region that I interface with. They think Southwestern's going to be pretty good. That's just what they keep saying.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you talk and tell us a little bit about your basketball team.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's been an uphill climb. There's been a lot of adversity that's hit, a lot of struggles early on. But I mean, you got got to struggle in order to succeed. And so yeah, we feel like we have improved every single year. Yeah, we broke the wall down last year and making it to the regional tournament. That was huge for us, especially with a young team, a young roster like we had. We played a lot of sophomores and started a freshman for most of the year last year. But no, we're super excited where we're at this year. We feel like we've got a product we can put on the floor that has a chance, to go out and do some big things this year. So we're very, very excited about that. Yesterday was the first time we got everybody in the gym all at once. Even the summer, we battled injuries and stuff like that. We've not had a full team. So I've not seen a full team on the floor yet. So until yesterday, and that was just practice-wise. But we're excited. We've got our football kids back, and it's going to take them a little while to get back in shape, but they'll be fine.
Use the word big. I'm going to use that as a launch point for us to talk about your team. You've got some length on this basketball team.
Yeah, we've got size. I mean, we've got a lineup where the smallest guy on the floor could be 6'3", we're very blessed to have that. And the good thing about it is we've got 6'5", 6'7", but they can stretch the floor. They can all play with their back to the basket, but they can also step out, create their own shot, knock the three down, hit mid-range, So we're very fortunate from that. And we got some kids, last year getting their varsity experience. That was huge for them. But we've really killed the weight room over the last little bit, and a lot of them's gotten stronger. You can see it in their development. And our player development program, we feel like it's second to none. So we're always working to get our kids better and better. And I think you're going to like what you see whenever you come watch us play.
I'm going to come watch you play, and I hope to see that. Again, let's throw some names out there and get started. We'll make some people happy, some of the parents and grandparents and everybody else, but also it'll give people a name to kind of wrap around and get ready for the season.
Okay. I'll just go straight down my roster. It's in numerical order. Zach Hudson, he's a 6'5" junior. Zach has been with me all 4 years. We brought him up as an 8th grader dressing varsity. He started since he's a freshman. He has an opportunity to be one of the best players to ever come out of Southwestern. I think that says a lot. 6'5", he's versatile. We can put him inside. We can put him outside. And he's got a chance to be an elite defender as well. So we're very excited about him, and I think this experience you're going to see something completely different from him in his junior year. Number 2, Reno Scott, sophomore, 5'11". Guy's going to get a lot of JV minutes this year. He's worked really hard, improved his game as well. Wyatt Stevenson, junior, 6'2". He's very sneaky athletic, and he's got long arms. He does a great job. We brought him on. His minutes were kind of up and down, wasn't really consistent until the end of the year last year, and he was a big reason why we went on a run at the end. I think we were one of the hottest teams going into the tournament play. A lot of that was because of him. We inserted him to the lineup, and he's our guy that we're going to put on the best player probably every single night. He's been a little bit of injury as well, but he's tough. He's going to play through it. We love what we got from him, and he's getting a lot better and more confident offensively as well. Caleb Shipp, another junior, got a lot of experience JV-wise last year. Very quick. He plays with great pace, and that's what I really like about him. And he gets after you defensively. So in our scrimmage the other day, he had 9 assists, and he just moves the basketball around. He's not selfish, and he can guard. Antoine Dunford, senior, 6'5". Once again, he can stretch the floor. We're very blessed to get him from Wayne County this year, and he's a kid. He's the best athlete in the region, and I think I don't think that's even a question. I might be partial, but I don't think that's a question. I think he's got a good opportunity to be in the running for 12th Region Player of the Year. He just brings a whole different dynamic and element to our game and our offensive system and defensively because he plays above the rim. Just such a special athlete. Jonas Gallagher, senior, just got off the football field as well. Was in there after they lost their game the other night. 8 o'clock next morning, we got him a haircut, and he was ready for basketball. So he was with us. He's the type of kid that you want on your team. He's so good in practice, and when you put him in, you know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to be our catalyst. He's going to get our defensive energy up. Talks nonstop. He's a leader, a true leader. Brady Hansen, sophomore, going to get a lot of JV minutes this year, and don't be surprised if he steps in a varsity game to try to knock us a shot down. He's a great shooter. Cade Hudson, same way, sophomore. Going to get a lot of JV experience as well this year. Adam Markham, junior, started a lot of games for us last year, logged a lot of minutes. Last year he was more just a stand still, catch and shoot guy, and he shot the ball great for us. But this year, at our end of the year meeting, we talked about how he needed me to be more versatile. He's developed his body, and he's gotten quicker off the bounce. So he's a guy that can score at all three levels for us this year, and he did that the other day in the scrimmage. Hayden Webb, kid we got over from Pulaski, sophomore. He's a kid that he brings a lot of energy for us, defensively especially. Coming from there, he's going to play defense, but he can shoot the ball and plays off the bounce pretty well as also. Jarrett Simpson, 6'7", junior, a lot of minutes last year. I think he started every single game. He's a kid that's very special. I've told him since his freshman year I think he can be a star here at Southwestern. I think he's getting into that role. He had some games last year where he was just dynamite, and I think this year, I think he's more confident. I mean, he's ripping the rim off in practice. He can step out and hit the three. Great mid-range game, great footwork, plays with the back to the basket as well. Pierce Jasper, sophomore, plays as hard as anybody. His niche is the first guy to the floor. He'll get a lot of JV minutes. Jay Simpson, Jarrett's little brother, he's grown to 6'4" right now. He's a freshman. He'll play a lot of JV for us. He's got a good future ahead. Caden Campbell, 6'4", sophomore. We started him a lot last year as a freshman. I mean, he's the strongest kid in our program by far. And he was another one, jumped off the bus from football game, went over to the scrimmage with us. And what I like about Caden, he moves so well. I mean, he's a big, strong kid, but he can step out on the floor and guard. And you can't get a rebound from him. So Chris Chukwurima, I'm glad I said that right.
I'm glad you got it.
I think I did. This is just his second year playing basketball. He's 6'4", played soccer this year. First year at Southwestern, but he's a kid that's got some potential. And then I want to mention Parker Burton, 6'2", sophomore, but he's going to have surgery on his labrum, so we won't get him this year. But I think we got a really good squad, very competitive, and we finally got some experience. And I think that's something you can hang your hat on as well.
We're going to jump into taking a look at who you're going to be playing, and you and I get a chance to talk a little bit about the district and region. I do want to say this. There's a team up north that has just come onto the radar the last couple of years in Danville Christian. And I don't think you have the length that they have, but you are one of two or maybe two teams that I can think of that are going to be able to go out and stand toe-to-toe with them and not be dwarfed.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to play them this summer. I think we beat them by 2. It was a great game back and forth. But, it's summertime.
Sure.
You never know who all's there. They got a new coach implementing the new system. They're a really good team. But, yeah, I think our size and athleticism this year is beyond what it's ever been, well, the last 4 years at least, or the last 3 years for me. And I think we're a team, we don't have to take a backseat to anybody.
You're looking forward to a big season. We're looking forward to having a big season with you. Again, your district. Let's just go there for a minute. Don't let me forget to get back to your assistant coaches.
Okay.
Let's go there first.
Okay.
Let's shout out your coaches and your wife for putting up with what the wives have to put up with coaches, and then we'll go back to the district.
Okay. My JV coach and head assistant is Billy Carson. Billy, we've grown up in this journey together, and we both started coaching at the same time as freshman coaches and coached against each other all these years, and finally we've gotten together. So he's great. I mean, he is very faithful, very loyal, great X's and O's coach. He's not scared to step in practice and blow the whistle and correct something. So very, very happy with having him. Freshman coach is Landon Hargis. Landon's a good old Russell County boy from where I'm from as well. Landon's actually double dipping a little bit. He's doing my 8th grade and my freshman, so very thankful for that. Assistant coaches, and I got quite a few of them. We got a good staff. Coach Cody Ross, he's been with me. I'll tell you, I think people know this. He's my brother-in-law. But he's been with me ever since we started here. Came over with me when we took the leap to come to Southwestern.
Right.
But he's doing my 6th and 7th grade. He's also assisting on varsity as well. Peyton Cunniff's been a big pickup for us. He's actually player development. That's his niche, and he does a great job. He has kids in the gym all the time, working with them on their game. Coach Kirby Tolliver, he's with us. Coach Chris Tolliver's father.
Yes.
So everything we do is for Coach Chris Tolliver. But Kirby, he's the life of our coaching staff. He does us big dances after games. We win, and every time he walks in the gym, I got my back to him. I'll hear everybody start yelling Kirby, so I know he's there, and everybody gets excited. And Coach Gordon Crow, he's with us. He's coming off the football field, and he's going to work with our bigs a lot. Then I got managers as well. Dylan Lay. We all know Dylan. Dylan is first to the floor whenever there's a water spill. And then Aaron Baker, he stepped up with us. He's a senior at Southwestern. He does a lot of graphics and things for us. So he's actually putting together a hype video for our first game. So it's really cool. And then we got the best manager there is in Steven Sims.
He is, I'm glad you mentioned Steve.
Or trainer, I'm sorry,
I
trainer.
understand, but we know.
Yeah.
He does a great job, and he's a quiet guy, and he's really in the background all the time. But he is so valuable, and again, I've developed a relationship with him over the years in various sports.
Yeah.
He's a good act.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a good dude. All right, let's go district. Obviously, in this district, you've got Somerset Christian, you've got McCreary Central, and you've got Wayne County. If you had to rank them, I'm going to throw you out. You don't get to play those three teams. What do you see out of those three this year?
It's going to be very competitive again. You know, I know a lot of people are saying Wayne will be down. Wayne's not going to be down that much. Kendall Phillips is one of the best players in the region.
He's pretty good.
He's one of the best players in the region. They've got good young kids. Corbin Edwards, this is his third year as a sophomore starting varsity. And Ryder Bell, I loved him last year, his game. So, I mean, they're going to be right there in the mix. It's going to take your best effort to beat them. And they've been in big games before. McCreary Central, kind of the same thing. Wade Davis does a great job over there. He always has them ready to play. They've got some length as well. And then Somerset Christian, Coach Gover does a great job. I know they got a couple kids coming in, and they got a couple athletes, and they're going to be a nice team too. And they were very competitive in about every game last year.
12th region is always competitive. That goes without saying. No matter where you're from or whatever, that's a given.
Yep.
This year, obviously, we spoke of Danville Christian a minute ago. But if you look down in this end of the region, I've got a feel for what I think.
Yeah.
Once you get across the Lincoln County line, I kind of lose. Is there anybody up on the north end of the county other than Danville Christian that you wonder or you think will be there at the end?
Mercer's going to be a very tough out.
Okay.
We've got them the second to last game over there. We had battles with them last year, and then we beat them in the regular season, and they got us in the regional tournament. But they've got a lot of guys back. They graduated one or two maybe. Trevor Ellis, one of the best players in the region. I think it's going to be between him and Antoine for 12th Region Player of the Year. And then they got a couple kids moving in. They got LCA's best guard, averaged 17 a game last year. They're going to be really, really good. In West Jessamine, got Steve Adams as the coach this year that was at Bull County for all those years. They're going to be really good. They got a 7-foot.
I was going to say,
he'll be a sophomore this year.
A 7-footer.
They're going to be really good, and it's 12th region basketball. Every single night you got to bring your A game, or you're going to get beat. It's just the facts of the matter.
There's a guy up there that coaches at Lincoln County. I never count out either.
Yes,
He somehow fields a team that they may beat you 31-30 or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
But Coach Jackson does a really, really good job up there. All right, if you could wave the magic wand, what is it that you would want to happen early for this basketball team? Because you and I both know you don't win championships in December.
Yeah.
You win them in February and March. But what kind of start would you love to see this basketball team get off to?
We want to win right away.
Okay.
We're trying to ingrain our kids, expect to win. We started off 4-0 last year. Schedule got a little bit tougher, and it was just kind of up and down. But really, I want us to be elite defensively, and I think we've got an opportunity. We've got a team that can be elite defensively, and once we started buying into that last year, that's when we really took off. It took longer than I wanted, but once we did, we really took off. So, I think that we've put in some new wrinkles offensively, some new stuff that kind of fits this team that I think is going to be really fun to watch. But if I got to hang my hat on something, I think we need to be elite defensively early on to be successful.
When I talk about defense, I'm with you. I think defense is what I look a whole lot when I see a team. Are they willing to play defense?
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to score and get up and run up and down the floor. But if you're willing to play with the length you have, I think you can't overestimate when you've got length on everybody that you're guarding. Some teams will really struggle with that.
Yeah, I mean, we got different guys we can put on the. If we were in an odd front zone, we got plenty of guys we can put on the front of that to disrupt some things. But you know, I mean, I'm a big man-to-man believer, but I can play some zone as well. But I really don't like to. I'll be honest with you.
I've seen your teams enough to know over the years that
I get stubborn sometimes.
Well, you know, some people call it stubborn, some people call it committed to what you're doing.
Well, I'm a believer that you can't play a good zone unless you play a good man.
If you can't play man, you're going to get beat eventually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that, but I believe
it shows
that.
a lot of toughness.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
And if my guys get used to being less than full bore on defense, then they get to thinking all I got to do is shoot it, and I'm going to stay out here. You've got a deep bench.
Yeah, we can go. I think we can go 8 to 9.
And you've got a good coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a good support system, and we'll give a shout out to people out at Southwestern. They're committed. I spent some time with your AD back during soccer season.
Mm-hmm.
He and I kept getting stuck on the soccer field.
Yeah.
I have a son-in-law that coaches girls soccer at Southwestern.
Seen you there a few times.
And he and I were constantly talking basketball. I don't know why, but we were. And Coach Flynn was usually there with us, and we had some good conversations. And what kept coming up was they support what you're doing.
100%. That's something I can say, and you got to have that as a coach. Our administration's second to none. They really let us coach, and you know we got their full support. There's a bunch of people at Southwestern that are behind the scenes that do a lot for us and have our support and have our back. So we're appreciative of all of them. It's the best school you can be at.
Here's your chance we're going to wish you a happy and blessed Thanksgiving.
Same to you guys.
I hope everything goes well. You're going to feed the team at practice tomorrow?
We are Friday after a scrimmage.
I figured
feeding them
would.
now too. So
well, yeah, I noticed that out there, and it seemed like your team grew when you said food. It was like there was.
You say food, they come running.
There was a whole house full of them out here.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm thinking that we're gonna have to keep rolling. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up.
Thank you guys for having us. Thanks for doing this.
Wrap. Hey, we'll see you soon in the gym. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Jerron Dunbar, head coach of the Southwestern boys basketball team. Coach, good luck this year. We are going to be entertained in the next few minutes as Junior Molin's going to step in, and he's going to get his phone out so he can keep an eye on me.
This way.
Can you talk?
If you can hear me, I hear you.
All right, we're ready to go. Junior Molin, it is always a pleasure to sit down next to you because I think you and I could waste a lot of time. Invest a lot of time talking basketball.
Yeah, well, we need 45 minutes. I'm hoping Mr. Lloyd here will let us have it.
Maybe they've got us, we can buy 10 minutes or something.
Come on now.
All right, Coach. Again, last year, a basketball team that I know your expectations every year. We talk about it. I see your schedule every year. We talk about that. You believe, what is it you say, any place, anytime, anywhere?
Absolutely. We've already been up to Sacred Heart for a scrimmage this last Saturday. So, yes, it's anybody, anywhere.
So, again, this year, names on this basketball team, Peyton Acey is gone. I think McDonald has moved.
Yes, Jordy McDonald's transferred. Peyton Acey graduated, and Kristen Desarn graduated out.
And so that's pretty much the misses.
Yes.
I want to start out, and I know it's hard for a coach to do this when it happens to be his daughter that I'm talking about, but I'm going to treat it as if it's just Kinsley Molden.
Okay.
And she happens to be somebody's kid, okay? I watched her last year come back from injury. Averaged 16 plus a game, even though when the first several games she came back, that was limited, and those figure into averages. And I know she's played a buku of summer ball and everything and already signed or committed.
Committed,
I don't
yes.
think signed is the correct term anymore.
She'll be signing next week.
And she is going to pursue it at Campbellsville with some people that I have some knowledge of and support. I like that program. But having said that, you have got a lead guard on this basketball team who is elite in state, and it wouldn't be fair not to give her credit. So I'm going to throw this out. You've got a scorer to lead this basketball team, and you've got others. But let's give Kinsley a minute, and then we'll go somewhere else.
Well, I appreciate you putting it out there like that. Yeah, Kinsley it's harder for me because I'm the head coach of this program to talk about her, but yeah, she deserves her due
Well,
credit.
she shot almost 50% from three-point range.
Listen, I'm
last
proud of the fact that she come back from the injury and was out a month and led the state in three-point percentage and makes last year says a lot about her drive to come back. She's actually, believe it or not, she's injured right now. We've got a mysterious foot injury right now with her, so we're worried about her starting the season here. But she has worked hard in the off season. I feel like the biggest, we know teams are wanting to run her off the three-point line and as far as scouting report, and she's really got better at playing off 2 feet. Had several pull-up jumpers at Sacred Heart the other day, and it's become a much better passer because our team, other players are going to score more this year. Kinsley may score less, and I'm okay with that if we can get her assist totals up and get her passing the way I know she's capable of. She's improved her defense over the summer playing EYBL, and just looking forward to her having a healthy, fun senior campaign.
All right, I know you're going to miss Stacy because she's double-figure scorer and almost 8 rebounds a game or something like that.
Yes.
You're going to miss her, so you're going to have a big step in her place, and you're going to miss McDonald because she was what I call a pest.
Yeah, both players starters last year for us, multiple year starters. So
Yes.
obviously we got some replacing to do and some mixing and matching, but I'm really happy with our scrimmages so far. If you talk about replacing them too, I've had Molly Osborne and Michaela Monroe already in there playing really well the first 2 scrimmages and competing as far as post play and helping us out to help replace them 2 players. So.
Let's run down names. You talk names, I'll shut up.
All right, well, let's talk about our seniors. We already talked about Kinsley. We got Jeslyn Flynn, just a defensive pest on the perimeter. She's shot it well here in the open scrimmages and just playing really well right now for us. Megan Loudermilk, second year playing with us. I'm trying to get her to want to shoot the ball more and quicker, and she's certainly done that in the scrimmages. And we got her back from volleyball late, but she is coming on. I'm staying on her defensively this year because she's got some really good speed. Ava Jones, if we was having a 3-point contest and her feeder set, I'm not sure that she wouldn't beat Kinsley. I'm telling you, she can flat shoot the ball, and pick and pop situation's really good for us. She's improved her defense. She has worked on her. I mean, her body has transformed from 8th grade to now. You wouldn't know who she was, and senior, just wanted to have a fun, healthy campaign just like Kinsley. And then we got our last seniors, Abigail Strunk. She's coming back from a major knee injury, and we're being really patient with her. She's a great leader in the locker room and just a positive influence for our kids every day. And I'm just being really patient with her and working with her. We don't have no juniors this year.
I noticed
Mr.
that.
Kerr.
There's a missing class.
Actually, we're missing junior class, and we don't have an 8th grade class.
And you're missing 8th grade class.
And I say that because we're going to have 6 7th graders we talk about here in a little bit. But our sophomore class, we just talked about Molly Osborne. It's come out. She's paid her dues. Peyton Hasey's just beat her up every day in practice over the years. She has really helped Peyton when Peyton was playing with us be ready for games, and she's does all the dirty stuff that doesn't go in the books or we talk about enough. She's one of my best ball screen defenders. When I went up to Sacred Heart Academy the other day, I don't think they need an introduction. Of 4-time state champion, maybe a favorite to win the 5th. I don't know. Sakai Johnson just got done, playing for the USA team, and guess who got the assignment? It was Molly Osborne. She got the defensive assignment in the half court. She told me she held her to 7 points in the half court, but our transition defense wasn't very good that day, Mike. But Molly did a good job in our half court defense and really done a good job on Sakai Johnson. Jalen Dye started for us last year, and coming out early on, she has improved her defense tremendously. Ball pressure is just amazing this year. Her shots improved. EYBL's done wonders for her. She's just tough. She went up to Sacred Heart Academy, and they were trying to double, triple her. Her strength was really good. She got a cramp late in the Sacred Heart scrimmage, but I thought she played extremely well, tough, and nothing phases her. She's a different player than what she was for us. I don't know that I ever got her completely healthy last year.
Right.
She had some nagging injuries from, I think, volleyball, and she come back strong this year, worked on her body. She's ready to row. Next sophomore, Kiera Scott. Key is coming back from a major knee injury, set out all last year. We were very patient with her because it was the second time she had this injury with her knee, and she doesn't think she is where she needs to be, but I do. She's right where I want her right now, being very patient. I'm limiting her minutes just a little bit early on. She is another defender on the perimeter. You're going to see a different defensive team from us once I get everybody rolling, and Key is going to be a big part of that. Already shooting the ball really well for us early on as well. Kylie Dalton off and on started for us last year. She started these first 2 scrimmages. I know everybody knows her as a softball star. I think she's one of the best hitters in the state of Kentucky, but she can also shoot the basketball for us. And I'm expecting her to rebound strong for us this year. I'm going to play her at the 3 and the 4 some. She has a knack for playing big in the big games, and she's just that type of kid. She can handle adversity well, and I think she's going to have a big year for us. Kenzie Williams, another sophomore. Now I got a big sophomore class, and I'm excited about them. Kenzie shot the lights out. We went against a zone last night against Jackson County, and I think she hit 5 threes. She's just a zone buster, shooting it well. Got her confidence going, started attacking gaps with the dribble, and played much. Really, really good. She's really good against zone teams and just breaks them open. And having a really good preseason for us in practices, so I expect her coming off the bench and lighting it up for us some. Andrea West, another sophomore, she's got some length, and she surprised me at Sacred Heart a little bit. I thought she was coming off the volleyball a little bit late. She had an ankle injury, and so I limited her minutes a little bit at Sacred Heart. She come out and played well, so I gave her quite a few more minutes last night. She played good against Jackson. Kid's always got a positive attitude, just an infectious smile, and just a great kid to be around. I can't say enough good things about that young lady. She's just awesome kid, and a good volleyball player and a good basketball player. She's going to help us a lot this year. I got 2 more sophomores, Mike. I've got Claire Marie Ramsey and Samaj Artis. All right. Claire Marie is a little soccer star. You should have seen her out there. I know you've seen her out there in the regional final, just all over the place, trying to use that speed that Coach Stringer has with her, and get her in some press situations, help us in the game situations, and she can shoot the ball. I know her sports soccer, but she's a pretty good basketball player, and I'm just trying to convince her of that. And then Samaj is going to play the 5 for us, center, right around 6 foot tall. Samaj is really good. My granddaughter is in the gym all the time. Her favorite player is Samaj, and so I have to. I always she don't call her Samaj, she calls her Massage. Massage.
I love it.
So when you catch her at a ball game, you'll come over and watch. We're going to talk to Massage after a game. And
I will make sure I make that mistake on purpose.
Yeah, make that mistake on purpose. We'll get my granddaughter up there to talk with you as well.
There you
Talk
go.
about Massage. And I don't know what our time's like, but I want to talk.
We're good.
Are we good on time?
We got 10 minutes or so. You can
Awesome.
take a deep breath.
Every year, I always leave out something or somebody, and I want to make sure this year I get everybody
Let's
in.
get the bodies.
Let's get the
And
bodies.
The somethings we'll just fix later. Okay?
There you go.
All right.
I think we've already talked about Michaela Monroe. She is she's transferred over to us. Kid's a gym rat.
She got a little length too.
The length is. She used that length the last night against the Jackson County team. I matched her up against Campbellsville signee, a kid that is pretty good over there in that 13th region, and she played really well against her. Got some confidence going. She's going to change us a little bit defensively. I'm not going to let anything out, but I mean she has really improved her foot speed since she's been here at Southwestern. She has put the time in, and she's on a mission. One of these kids is coachable and wants to be challenged, and I'm just. I think everybody in our locker room is excited that she's on our team. We're happy. Freshman Chloe Cook, she'll be playing JV on the JV team and the freshman. Really worked hard in this offseason. She's not been feeling well today. She's not here tonight, but working hard. She'll play the post for us. Maisie Fox has been out with an injury, another freshman. She's had a knee injury here, and we haven't figured out what it is, so we have had to set her out here the first of the season. And then we had a transfer from Somerset Christian, Izzy Adams. She's just learning how to play the post for us. We're getting her. We're trying to work on her defensively, but she's in there every day working hard. Another post player that we need. We can't get enough post players. We got a lot of guards here at Southwestern.
Used to not have it.
Yeah, now we're starting to get some, and I'm excited about it, especially considering I've not had the best rebounding teams here recent years. So. Izzy's been great, and the girls love her in the locker room. Now, I told you, we skipped the whole eighth grade class.
Yep.
We got a really good seventh grade class. This team's competed really well at the middle school level. They like being challenged, and I brought them into practices, and there's no letdown. It's not like I got to put the seventh graders to the side and practice everybody else. These kids have been really competing. They're a good defensive group. When they play together and they're in one heartbeat, they're so hard to beat at the middle school level. Now, they come out and won their freshman scrimmage the other day at Sacred Heart, and then they played really well on JV last night against Jackson. First one I've got down is Layla Cassida, good scorer, getting much better defensively and just gets after it. Infectious with smile every day, and she wants to be challenged. She's one of them kids that'll stay till I turn the lights out at the gym. Kessa Butcher, you might remember her daddy, my mentor here at Southwestern. I got to be the assistant coach for her, and she's a coach's kid. It's obvious. She gets down, plays defense, does all the right. She's really good at passing and getting our seventh grade group involved. I want her shooting more, and we're working on that. I told her she's going to be wearing 24 after Kinsley Molden moves on to Campbellsville, and I said 24s are supposed to shoot the ball. So we're gonna keep working on that and get her shooting more. But all over the place defensively, one of our best. She's our best defensive player at the middle school level. Just gets after it, and we're excited about her. She does not back down from anybody in the gym every day in practice. So I know she's going to be really good for us in the future. Nora Grider, she is growing like a weed. She's figured out she can not only help us with her shooting because she's a good shooter, but she got much better defensively recently, and now she's passing the ball, playing off 2 feet well. She's another one that just loves to be challenged, and she is getting better really quick. I feel like she has improved as much as anyone since we've got her up at the high school level. So she's going to be good. CeCe Dalton plays softball also, but she was one. If you'd have asked me 2 months ago, I wasn't planning on bringing her up, and then she got hot at the end of the middle school season. It's hard for me to say this, but I'm going to say it. She is one of my most physical players, and she's a seventh grader.
Wow.
Physicality is. She gets after. She 110% all the time, and she plays hard, and she's going to be really good for us. She is the other one that likes to be challenged, and just a great kid, smiles on her face, and asks the right questions every day. And I think she's going to be really good for us down the road as she grows and gets these minutes in freshman and JV. 2 more. I've got Sophie Sloan, a scorer. She can play the post. She can play guard also. We're working on her ball handling now, trying to get her better with guard skills. She'll go on these spurts where she's just the best player on the floor for our younger group, and she can go left, go right, starting to shoot the ball well. She's realized that her defense is what keeps her on the floor. Coach Kevin is our assistant. Kevin Dalton, our softball coach. He coached them in 7th grade this year, and he stayed on her pretty hard on the defensive end and got her really playing well by the end of the season. Our last 7th grader, Graceland Minks. I'm going to tell you, she just, and this is a big comparison, but she reminds me a lot of Michaela Nordis. And she just, another one that smiles all the time. She's young, Raw got a lot to learn, but she's in there working every day. She's left-handed. I think she was ambidextrous, and we just made her left-handed. We decided if we're going to go one way or the other, we'll go left with her, and she's actually improving really well. She had a 3 late last night in the scrimmage against Jackson County, and just one of them kids, you're going to hear that name down the road. Be ready, and you're going to be comparing her to a Michaela Nordis. Wait and see on that.
Hardest thing to do is me and you not to talk basketball because I want to talk basketball. But you go ahead and get your coaches and the rest of the staff in
Okay,
here.
I will real quick, and we'll talk some basketball before we end this thing. Managers, Christine Cook, Kristen Desarnes come out and help us. Ellery Scales, Harold Isaac still here doing
Video
his
man.
Video man, still doing so much for our program, and everywhere we go, he takes care of us. If you need insurance, you better be going to Isaac's Insurance. My wife works for him now, and need Medicare, Mike.
Free plug.
Talk to Dana. There's your plug right there.
Need Medicare. I'm 69. I've been on Medicare for 100.
I had to get the plug in.
Appreciate it. All right.
I've got an anniversary coming here a couple of days, so I had to throw that one in there. All right. I never talk about my bus driver. Our kids love Danny Kidd. He's been our bus driver since I've been here, and I wanted to throw him in there. Danny Kidd, I hope he's listening tonight. Danny's like a grandpa to the team, and the girls won't go nowhere without him. So we're there. As far as our coaching staff, we've got Kayla Hall's back with me, assistant. Coach Markham, statistician, still back. She's on vacation. She does that every year on me at Thanksgiving. So she's back. Kevin Dalton, our softball guru, is in there. He's already got watching film from the first 3 games next week. He's already sending me all kinds of stuff. Destiny's still helping us. My daughter Destiny Floyd, she's on helping us, and I brought on James Dye this year. I always loved competing against him when he was running the Meese Middle program. Always great games, competed 110%, shook hands afterwards. I have great respect that he was always about development, and he's doing that now, helping us with our player development, and in there just every day working hard with our kids, and it's been a great pickup for our program. So I'm really happy about that. I feel like if I go off this air and I don't talk about Derek Harris, something's wrong. Derek Harris has been awesome for our program. He runs our youth league. He's running our AAU league over here at Southern Middle. He coached our 6th grade team this year and done an unbelievable job with that group, developing our kids. I hope he's watching tonight. Derek he's been running our youth league since it's been in existence.
Yes.
And just so happy that we've got Derek Harris on our side and helping us out.
You mentioned several people watching. If they're not, this will be put up and they can go to it. Just go to LakeCumberlandSports.com. There'll be a picture. You click on the picture and you can see your smiling face. All right, we are about out of time.
No. We're going to take somebody else's time tonight, Mike.
We accomplished what we wanted to do. We got to talk about the kids tonight. You and I'll talk basketball. You know, when we come on a post game, there is no limit. We'll talk.
No limit there? All right.
I mean, they'd keep telling me we got to quit, but they know better.
Well, they know better. It's Mike Kerr. It's Mr. Kerr.
No, anyway, that's an inside joke, too. Coach, I enjoy you. You are a basketball person. You are committed to this basketball team, and it shows. And that's that's the biggest compliment I can give you. Your commitment shows.
Thank you.
It's, I think, Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. It's here.
And we should wish each other a happy, blessed Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mike, Lake Cumberland Sports, and I want to thank you for all you all do for our community. We really appreciate it. These kids, these student athletes, I think this is awesome what you all do, and we're blessed more than we deserve to have you all following us.
So nobody would have believed this, but we've wrapped up, and I don't see anybody. So now we can talk basketball.
We can talk all we want then.
All right. You and I have had a growth relationship over a few years of doing this. And when we first started out, you were trying to feel me out a little bit, and I was trying to figure out exactly where you were coming from at times. We've now thrown that away.
Think so, yes.
We talk basketball when we off the air. We talk about things that happen on the basketball floor and what you're trying to do. This team this year, you've got high expectations.
Yes, I do.
I have no doubt that when you've got a board up there that says 12th Region Championship, you've got a check mark on it.
I will say this. I think we're a good team, Mike. I know there's some really good teams rated above us to start the season. They should be. They've earned it. But I dream big. I've told our girls that. And I believe in us. And I think we could be in that conversation in March.
Well, I would put you in that conversation just based upon past history. But, you know, there are some good teams in this region. There are some teams that year in and year out field really good basketball teams. But I think Coach Gover is about to make his triumphant appearance. I heard the Heralds playing in the background.
Oh, that's it. You got the respect Al Gover has. You can come in late.
Hey, you know, he's like Al is he's been around basketball around here for a long time, and he's a friend of ours, and we'll wait on him. But when you're ready, Pat's going to take a break. And during that break, you and I are going to get up and swap. Best of luck. I will see you soon.
Look forward to seeing you.
He's Junior Mold. Al Gover to follow in just a minute.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to come in 175-100. Here to come in 175-2. I 200 down Gannett. Here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
And we are back. Buffalo Wings and Rings High School Basketball Annual Coaches Show. We got Coach Al Gover, head coach and athletic director at Somerset Christian High School. You're on backwards, Coach. There you go. As am I. I'm going to switch mine around as well. So give us just a second here. Not sure how this happened, but... well, we'll just make it work. How's that?
There we go.
Yep, we got the we got the L on the right and the right on the L.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm not technology savvy.
Well, here's what I can tell you. We're working right now, and everybody can hear us just fine. So, first of all, welcome. I think this is the first time in a long time that I've got to sit down at a coach's show with you. Of course, you have a long and distinguished career coaching high school basketball, and you retired for a brief while, and now you're out at Somerset Christian School. And I know we've talked a little bit, and you said how much you really enjoy working with those kids. And not only are you the head basketball coach, but you're the athletic director, because being a basketball coach doesn't keep you busy enough.
Oh no! I've got to stay busy as many hours in the day that I can. So it does keep you busy. It's time consuming, but it's also enjoyable. So I'm enjoying it. It keeps me moving, keeps me young.
And you're doing a great job out there. I know we're privileged to be able to come out and cover some sports, and of course we're adding a new sport, kind of new to Somerset Christian School. It's definitely going to be new for us because you've added girls basketball back out there. I think the school's had it in the past, but since joining the district, this will be the first year, right?
Yes, it will, and we're looking forward to that. Coach Gary Abbott is our girls basketball coach, and he'll do a great job. He's this will be the first year, so it's going to be,
there will be growing pains.
There's going to be growing pains. It's going to be tough at first, probably, but that's okay. They'll fight through it. They'll fight through it and work through it.
You've been there, because you started with this program and you're trying to build it, and you brought it to where it competed in the Christian Association, and now you're competing in the KHSAA.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got, 8 wins last year and a couple region wins?
We did. We felt like we were very competitive last year. We were there in a lot of games. Wasn't able to pull all of them out, but we were very competitive, I thought. And this year, I think, is the year that we're looking forward to getting over that hump and making some noise.
Sounds good. You've got a pretty good sized roster, at least what's been listed on the KHSAA and all of that. But let's talk about, you've built this program up where people are coming, and you've got some basketball players.
We do. I feel good about our team. I feel good about our roster. Again, it's the first year we've really had some experience, maturity. On our team, but we've got 5 seniors.
Wow!
This year, one of those is Brayley Adderley. He played last year. He's about a 6'4" senior, a really good athlete. His game has improved quite a bit. He's a little more patient this year when he gets the basketball. He shoots the ball better this year, I believe, and so he's going to be a real force for us, I believe. He's got a lot of potential, and he's working really hard to reach that potential. Eli Brummett is another senior that this will be his 3rd year starting. He played as a freshman as well, so and I feel like Eli he's going to be a point guard to be reckoned with in the region. I think he's one of the better ones, honestly. Unfortunately, he hasn't got to practice any this year yet. He fractured a bone in his, I believe it was his tibia in his lower leg.
Okay.
Hopefully, this coming Monday he'll get released and be ready to go for us from here on out. But we're missing him right now. He brings us some structure and some.
And a young man
some
like that,
discipline.
and I've met him. I know he's been chomping at the bit as well.
He is. He's ready to go. He's been sitting over there watching enough, and so hopefully we get him back this coming Monday. We also have Gavin Lewis. He's about a 6'3" senior. Come out last year. He started come out late. He started about January, and he was a soccer goalie. Good athlete, runs, jumps. We're hoping to get some good things out of him. It gives us a little depth that we desperately need. We haven't had in the last couple of years. So he does give us that, and defensively and rebounding, he's going to help us quite a bit in those areas.
I know I talked to you last year, and you mentioned the word depth. You had said, that you felt like last year you had 4 or 5 guys that, had some experience and could play, but there was just no depth. And when they got to go, all 4 quarters, it gets tough.
It does. And so this year we'll have 2, possibly 3 that can come off the bench and help us. At least we can rotate a few players, get them some breaks during the game, and if we get in foul trouble, we'll have somebody to put in. But Gavin Lewis is another senior there. Nolan Mattingly is a senior this year. He moved down from Cincinnati, and he's about a 5. If I say 5'8", it might be stretching it a little bit, but he's doing really well for us. He's a tough competitor. He handles the ball. He guards people really hard, and he's got some basketball IQ and knowledge. So he's going to be a big asset to us this year. We're really looking forward to Nolan playing for us this year. Ethan Sizemore is another one. He played last year. He's about a 6'3" kid as well. A big kid. Last year was his first year playing basketball, and I don't know how long. Probably since the 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. So he come out. He's made some strides. So those are our seniors. We got 5 there.
Sounds like a good group, and the fact that they've all got some experience behind them makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes. That game situation, there's nothing like it. So all of them got play last year, and then all summer they got play as well. So we feel good about those guys, and hopefully they'll all contribute to our success this year. Juniors, we have Jordan Correll has come out this year. He's about 6'1"-ish, strong kid, big kid, shoots the ball pretty well, but it's his first year again playing since elementary. So we've got to get him some game experience, but he is a junior, so hopefully by first of the year, January or so, he'll be ready to contribute for us as well. Then you have Jack Baker, who has started for us a couple years. Jack is an excellent shooter. I mean, that's all you can say. He's an excellent pure shooter, and if you leave him open, you're going to pay for it more often than not. So. Jack has really improved his handles this year. He's improved his mid-range game. So we're looking for big things out of Jack as well. I forgot to mention last year I had my 5 starters. All of them were in double figures. I think the leading score was like 13 a game, and the 5th leading score was like 11.8 a game. So we were real close. And that's just a testament to them. We really emphasize sharing the basketball, getting the ball where it needs to be, and I think we did a good job of that. And hopefully we do an even better job this year.
Well, having the privilege to call a couple of your games last year, it was fun to watch because you could tell the fundamentals. Sometimes the execution just due to a lack of experience, not talent or ability, but just you could see that the fundamentals were there, just had to, and now another year under their belt, I look for big things out of this bunch.
Yeah, we're hoping. I got another junior, Isaiah Hensley. Isaiah started for us for 2 years as well, and this will be his third year starting. He's a good athlete. He's a competitor. He's the type of kid you want on your team. If you're playing against him, he might get under your skin a little bit.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's okay. That's okay.
Dennis Rodman made a living doing that, didn't he?
He did. He did for sure. And Isaiah, he's just a fun kid. He has a good time. He's kind of a happy-go-lucky kid. And, so we're just we're tickled with Isaiah, and we expect big things out of him this year. We have one sophomore this year on our roster. Our sophomore class is kind of low. In the school, we don't have a lot of sophomore guys, but he comes to us from Pike County Central. Last year. He's Omari Harvey. He's about a 6'5" kid, originally from Turks and Caicos, and 6'5", strong, athletic, inside-out type player. That's really gonna help us a bunch this year. We're really looking forward to Amari getting on the floor and competing for us. So those are our sophomores. The one, and then we got a few freshmen that come on will be mostly JV players, but who knows? Some of them with a little work will step it up and make it some varsity minutes. I don't want to forget any. We have Gavin Burke, who's playing this year. It's been 2 or 3 years since he played, but he's back with us. We're looking for some good things in the future from him. Tristan Emerson is another kid that's new to us. He's learning. He's getting better each and every day. Kingston Norfleet is another freshman that's really making good strides. I'm really pleased with Kingston, and I think he might be one that might crack the rotation at some point this year. Devin Peters is another freshman that is athletic. He just got to learn what the game's about, intensity-wise and structure-wise, and those type of things. When he does that, he's going to be a good player for us. Ryan Rocks Waters. Okay, got to get that Rocks in there. That's his nickname. He's a freshman. He's just a kid who's getting better. He loves the game. He loves to compete. He got a huge heart. You got to love those kids. But then Easton Turner's another freshman for us that he's come out for the first time. And Gavin Wilson. Gavin was in our rotation last year. He was as an 8th grader. Gavin, unfortunately, broke his tibia as well, and he had surgery, so he's going to have to miss the whole year. So we hate that. Gavin was a good player for us last year and would have been a good player for us this year. And so that hurts our depth a little bit, but we know he'll be back next year and ready to go. So, but we do hate to lose Gavin.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And you got a couple 8th graders as well?
We do. They've been practicing some with us, and they'll play some JV probably. Austin Doan is he's about a 6-foot 8th grader who's really athletic, and I think is going to be a good player. He's got some stuff to learn, obviously, as young kids do. Justin Knuckles is another 8th grader that has got some athletic ability, but a lot to learn when it comes to basketball. Vander Rusa is another 8th grader that, again, falls into that same category. Just, he's got some ability, but he just got to learn the game and what it takes to play basketball. So I think that's about it as far as the 8th graders go.
All right. Coach, you've been doing this for a long time. You don't do it by yourself. Talk a little bit about your staff and the help that you get.
Well, I've got one staff, one assistant coach. Me and T.W. Sears is my assistant coach, and T.W. has been around Somerset Christian for 5 or 6 years now. He helped Coach Dickley there, and T.W. is a really good basketball guy. He's got good knowledge of the game. But one of the biggest things about Coach Sears is he loves being in the gym.
Good deal.
And he just loves it, and he loves working with kids, and he's a great guy to have. I feel really good about just saying, hey, if I can't be there for some reason, or if I'm sick or whatever, you got it. And I feel real comfortable with that because I know they're in good hands with Coach Sears.
And doesn't it make you feel good to watch these kids as they develop? Of course, I think he played at Southwestern High School.
Yes.
I remember watching him play, but
Yes, he did.
even still, to get back and give something back to these high school kids, I know that's got to make you feel good that you can help mentor somebody like that and bring them along. 'Cause you're not going to do this forever, are you?
He's got a good future ahead of him. Yeah, he does. He'll make a good head coach.
Let's talk about your schedule real quick because it has evolved over the last years, especially as you've started playing KHSAA district play. And I look and I see a lot of competition in there from not just the 48th district, but we see some 12th region and some other folks from around the region that you've got on your schedule. It's not an easy road for you guys this year.
No, we if we're going to play in the KHSAA, then we're going to have to schedule the teams that we need to be scheduling to get better. And so we like to push ourselves. We like to play good competition. Of course, we have to play the district foes. We have to play your Southwestern, Wayne County, McQuarrie County. I think we've also got Garrett County on the schedule. We've got
I see Bergen and Rockcastle on there as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a couple more of those county foes. And
Somerset, we've got Somerset now
Right.
in a Christmas tournament that we've had to switch, but so we're going to be playing at Somerset before Christmas now.
Well, good deal. And looking forward to that. And, of course, we're going to be covering some more games this year. So we're excited about adding some more broadcasts to what we do. And we always appreciate your hospitality out there.
Yeah.
You guys treat us well. And we love to come out there and do basketball games. And this year we're excited because we're going to get to do some girls' games as well.
Yeah, but anytime we'd love to have you guys. I wish we had you a big luxury box we could put you in. But we just try to make room where we can.
I get it. I get it.
We'll do the best we can for you for sure when you come out.
We're not real picky. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to? We got just a minute or so before we wrap up.
My administration.
Yes.
Dr. Ron Gleaves is the head of schools. He gives me and our team a lot of support. Miss Melissa Phelps is the principal, and she does as well. They're great to work for and work with, and I really appreciate those people a lot. And I guess one of the last people, I guess I would have to thank my wife for kind of being patient with me and knowing that. Okay, we got to go here tonight. We got to go, whatever. We got to scout. We got to be at the gym. And she's really good with that. And she just kind of packs up and goes with me. And she really supports me well. And without that, you well know it's tough if you don't have a spouse that
supports you. And I've always said there's a special place in heaven for coaches' wives because it is. And I think I mentioned this, maybe with Coach Adkins or Coach Fraley, talking to the Pulaski County guys. They also, not only do they have to, they don't see you much, they have to sit in the stands. And sometimes we know fans, I've been one of those that's probably said more than I should have. But the wives hear that, and it hurts a little bit, So I always admired my wife's ability to do that, and I know you do that as well because that can be a little tough.
Yes, my wife, I've actually kind of got her away from that. I put her on the scores table keeping the book so she can...
Oh, yeah, don't talk to me. I got work to do.
So when I'm getting on the referees, I hear this, shh. I look over there and she's going, trying to quiet me down.
Well, my wife says, "Why don't you just hush?" I don't get the shh, but Coach, I appreciate it. Looking forward to it. Again, your first home game looks like Garrett County. Is that right? December 10th.
December 10th.
Fantastic. The Garrett County Golden Lions and coming up here and. going to be December 10th. That'll be at 7:30. A cozy gym. It's not. Your gym reminds me of my high school gym, so, very much so. It's, it's not the biggest place, but I guarantee you'll be treated right, and you're going to see some good basketball.
Absolutely.
Coach, we thank you very much. We appreciate you taking time to visit with us as we check out here. Anything else before we go?
I think we've covered it. I'd just like to say we appreciate you guys doing this every year and your interest in high school athletics and your support for it. And, I think, we've lost a little bit over the years, but you guys have really stayed with it and really take care of the high school sports in the area. We really appreciate that.
Well, one, for us, I'll say it's fun. Two, we love to watch kids grow and develop over the years. And three, we don't have to pay to get into games.
There you go. There you go.
But we would.
And you can even tell them at the concession stand that Coach Gover said you could have a pop and a hot dog.
Ooh, a hot dog. All right, sounds good. Coach Al Gover, Somerset Christian School, the Cougars. Get on out there and check them out, folks. I think they're going to make some noise in the 48th District and the 12th Region. You better pay attention to it. Coach, we appreciate you stopping by and bringing some kids. I know we're going to have interviews with them that they'll be posted on our website here in the next little bit, and they'll get to see those all year long. And it's always our pleasure to be able to cover high school sports here in this community.
Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
That is Coach Al Gover. We're going to swap headsets, or he's going to swap headsets with his newest hire at the Christian School. Mr. Gary Abbott is going to join us, and Gary is the first-year basketball coach at Somerset Christian, but you're not that's okay. We can do that. Not a problem. Here we go. And I'm going to pull that around. There you go.
All right. Got
Feel
you.
good?
Got you.
All right. You sound good to me. So first of all, just so people know who you are, we're going to do that. And Gary, I know you've got some coaching experience. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And tell us a little bit about Gary Abbott. What do we need to know? I know, we're here for the kids, but this is exciting, and I know you're excited as well. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Okay. We don't have all night on
That's
this one,
okay.
but we got a long way to go with this story.
Yeah, it's okay.
I've coached basketball now for this will make 33 years, I think. Maybe this is the 34th. Most of those all girls. Did most of the girls basketball at Monticello. I was there for 13 years, and then 5 years at Clinton County, and then went back and did the boys.
Okay.
No. Okay, if there's a mistake, that was one of them. I love to coach the girls.
Sure.
That's just something that I think God's given me to do, and that's what I like to do. And then after I retired in Kentucky, I actually went to Memphis, Tennessee, and coached at Tipton Rosemark down there for 1 year at private school. Well, there's some teams down there.
I guarantee it.
And then came back and been here ever since. But basketball's been, that's pretty much been my life. And
in the blood, as they like to say. Are you from Monticello originally?
I am from Monticello, and my daughter played, and she was part of the state tournament team that we won, and she played in the Sweet 16 in the semifinals, and she also played in the finals the year that I left. She went and made the all tournament team in the state, so she's a pretty nice little player.
When I first came to this area, I remember Monticello High School fondly, and always some good programs and all of that, and so I get it.
Actually, whenever I first started coaching the girls, that was when Rick Pitino first got the job at Kentucky.
Yeah, that's been a year or two ago.
A year or two, yeah. And so a lot of his stuff, I went to a couple of his camps and got the books and all that kind of.
Yeah.
So I kind of incorporated all of his stuff that he did in with our girls. Girls loved it, and so ever since and that's if you play basketball with us, you're gonna have fun.
Well, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I've had several. I've had children and now grandchildren to play. And I very rarely wish them good luck. I say go out there and have fun.
Have fun. That's right.
Exactly. Well, it sounds like that's what you're going to do. Now you're starting a program that has been not in existence for a while. That's got to be, a challenge that I'm sure you're looking forward to. First thing is to get some girls and build a roster.
True. And this is the first year that the school's ever had it in the Kentucky High School Athletic Association. But as you say, and I think is it the KACA? Is that what that was?
I think so.
Conference?
Yes. Yeah.
So they were in that a few years back. But as far as playing like I guess you say in the big boys game now, we're there. So that's the challenge, and we love that challenge. And you said to mention something else. Let me tell you another quick story.
Sure.
If that's okay.
Absolutely.
To get to where I'm at with the Somerset Christian team right now, that's the reason I've lost my fingers and my toes was because of COVID.
Okay.
And I was the very first person in the COVID unit up here. And I actually coded 5 times. And the nurses, I mean, they were there. So a big shout out to all those first responders. They're fantastic. And the biggest shout out goes to God, because He's the one that put me here talking to you. I mean, if it wasn't for Him, you and I, we're not talking.
I get it.
And so there's a lot of things. And there's, like I said, all night I got a lot of stories I could tell you, a bunch while I was in the hospital. But we'll save that for another time. But I'm here because I think God's put me here. I didn't have no clue about coming back and doing basketball. I mean, I was just glad that God kept me alive.
Right.
And I had 3 straight dreams, 3 straight, at the same time. And it was on a Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, and then Sunday morning went to church. So I told the pastor at church about the dreams, and he recommended that, well, you need to go see Coach Gover. And I didn't know they were getting ready to probably start a girls' basketball team. And by the time we started, Coach Gover's, he's a great guy. And before I left, he said, let's, start the girls' program. So to me, we're starting this program, and God's right there behind pushing it all. So I'm anxious to see where this gets to. Right now, as you was mentioning, I'll mention the players since you said that. We only have 7. And so 7 in the high school, grades 7 through 12 is the only ones that can play with the varsity. Now I got several little 6th graders.
Okay.
I'd like to move them into 7th grade, but right now they're learning along the way too. But I have only 2 freshmen, Marley Durham and Sayla, and Shatano.
Okay.
You might have to help me with that.
I think you got it pretty close, but I don't know. We'll double check,
But Sayla just came over from volleyball and just been practicing with us maybe about a week. But she's very athletic, and she's going to help us a lot. She's left-handed, I think she's going to be an amazing little player. And Marley's been hurt, and she's one of our top players also. She's got an injury with her back, and we scrimmaged last night, and she didn't get to play. So I didn't get a whole lot of feel on kind of how we're going to be yet. But those are our 2 high school kids, and then we go to Izzy Ray. She's an 8th grader. Then we got Sophia Guerrero and Sophia Bingham and Kinley Mink and Addie Waddle, all our 7th graders.
Okay.
And so you can look at that roster and think, oh, wow, we got to go play a varsity schedule with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to do it, but we got a lot of learning to do, but we will. But I couldn't ask for 7 sweeter kids. These guys are they're willing to learn. That's number one, and they listen. And the next day they're coming ready to play again. So it's.
And I think just, in what you've told me here, and I look forward to getting to know you more and more as the season and seasons continue on. But, with your story of what happened to you during COVID, that adversity there, that is also a story that you can use, because, life isn't easy. And that's what I've always loved about high school sports is I think it's our first real step into, preparing us for adulthood, because we're not always going to win, and especially, and I know, or I at least sense you're a strong, have a strong faith, and and I do too, that, you know, we do have a purpose. And matter of fact, that book, Purpose Driven Life, totally changed my life.
Yeah.
And I admire you sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that. But these girls are going to have a chance to build something really special with your leadership. And I know that's got to be exciting to you because, as you said, what's God got in store next? And, you know,
and that's why it's to me, it's like, why don't anybody want to come play over here? Because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great, you know?
Yeah.
So come and play. Let's see how it's going to end. You know, come on and play, because it's not just me. We got another coach up here that's helping me out a lot here. I wouldn't be here in the first place. But like you said, today I always read a devotion, and today's devotion I read 2 Corinthians chapter 4, and it was exactly what we're talking about, that God puts you through some pains and struggles, but that's to make you, I mean, I get frustrated every day. I mean, I drop things 1,000 times, but God's taught me that it's okay. I'll pick it up. It'll be okay. If you don't, somebody else will help you pick it up. It'll be okay. So that's what I'm trying to teach these kids is, you know, we may take some bumps and some bruises along the way, but they're so young that one of these days they're going to reap the rewards of all this.
Absolutely.
And like we've got 7 on the roster right now, I'm going to carry 12 on the varsity. So I got room for 5 kids.
All right.
If one shows up tomorrow,
absolutely,
hey,
just look right in there and tell them, say, hey,
come and play at Somerset Christian. If you're not playing somewhere else, come and play. Watch an amazing thing happen here. We got, like I said, I got 5 roster spots, 5 jerseys right there. No one's ever put them on. You can come and you can play and you can have fun, and we'll work it out.
And I'm
going to
say, I'm going to predict, be part of something special. And so much about ball is, you know, more than just the wins and the losses.
Yeah.
I get it. And I look forward to watching Somerset Christian Cougars, Lady Cougars. I never liked that. You're Cougars, and it just happens, you know. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, and we look forward to it. And at Lake Cumberland Sports, we're privileged. We're going to come and televise some games.
That's great. That's great.
Put those out there and let your girls get some exposure and all of that. So.
And I want to mention Coach Kelly Waddle is helping me with being an assistant coach this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Addie, the 7th grader, that's her kid. And,
okay.
You know, I've had a lot of good point guards in all my – Addie's probably right there in that point guard area for me. Never had one with red hair, so maybe that means something. Might have a little fire in that one as we come along.
I get it.
And then our 6th grade team that I was mentioning, I think they went like 18-1 in their middle school. And our 7th grade, I think, were 13-5.
So you've got the makings of some good ball players coming out.
Yeah. And then, of course, didn't have an 8th grade team because we only had the one 8th grader. But next year we should have numbers to do 6th, 7th, and 8th. So that's you can tell at the fountain, like every great thing has a foundation, right? Okay, so this bunch is building the foundation. So I'm like I said, I'm excited, and I want to give a shout out to Travis Durham that helped us with the middle school, and Josh Nichols that helped us with the middle school. Eric Weddle helped us with the middle school, and we've had all kinds of just donations that's helped us out with the uniforms and practice gears and all. And we got if we want to talk about some games, can we talk about those for a second?
Sure,
too?
absolutely.
We got we're going to do a Christmas tournament this year on December the 20th and 21st.
Okay.
And we're going to do it like old school. 4 teams in, and you just play a game. Winners play winners. Losers play losers. Have a first, second place, third, and fourth. So we're going to go back to the old time for that one and kind of have some fun with it.
And that's going to be at Somerset Christian.
We're going to do it at Somerset Christian, yeah. That's on a Friday and on a Saturday. We tried to schedule most of our games on Fridays and Saturdays this year because of travel. We like we was talking about a second ago, the schedule, we needed to kind of work on the schedule a little bit and get some teams that's more our size this year to lay that foundation that we're talking about.
Sure.
So we play several teams that's probably a lot of people's never heard of, but you know, they got their varsity team and they're trying to do the same thing we are.
Sure, absolutely. you are still working on the schedule. So again, if there's coaches out there looking for games, and I guess what I hear you saying is give you a call.
I think we got room for just maybe a couple more. The rest of them is pretty much full. So we're pretty much good with that. But it's I'm just over the top with
I can
excitement wanting this season to start.
You got me, and I want to get out there, but you don't want to see me play basketball. That is just not a pretty sight whatsoever. But I love to watch high school kids compete. I talked to Coach Gover about that, and I've known Coach Gover really since I first moved to town. And I'll just say, our first meeting, he and I, it wasn't real good. He was refereeing football and I was coaching. So, but anyway, we've since shook hands on that, and he's a great guy, and I think I know several people out there associated with the Christian school, and it's wonderful, and I love watching what they're developing. Hey, if you don't know, you've had some pretty good girls volleyball teams out there through the years, and you can get maybe some of those girls more interested in all of that. I know it's got to be exciting for you. Talk about a little bit just about your coaching philosophy in general. What kind of style are we going to see this year? And I know a lot of times that depends on who you've got to put on the floor, but what would you like to see this year?
With this group, those 5 that's going to come tomorrow or the next day, then we can do some more things. Then we can do some more stuff. But with what we got at the moment, I love to play full court pressing all the time, and I don't think we're going to be able to do that this year. We may hint at it at a time or two and just kind of see what happens. But we said this at the first. I want them all to have fun. So I'd like to play a lot of chaos, you might say. And so we do a lot of things within the full court press.
Okay.
But not with this group. So we got to do something a little different this year. I don't want to keep slow. I don't want to slow it down. I don't like that. But then come along and try to get things speeded up a little bit. And I love to shoot the threes. I love for all 5 of them to shoot the threes. When I was at Clinton, I had the 6'3" kid that went to Old Dominion and played. And when she got up to the high school, I said, well, you're going to learn to shoot some threes. And she goes, I can't do that. And I said, oh, well, we're going to practice them till you can. And I only want you to shoot them at one place, head of the circle. And before she graduated, she could knock down. Nobody let her open at the 3 because she would knock it down. So we're going to have everybody shooting threes. And I think when you shoot those, you have a better chance of getting rebounds. And we're going to be small. So maybe we can get a second shot here and there. And if we can create enough chaos defensively, maybe we can pick up some layups. And I got a plan, but we'll see how it goes. I've also got a B plan and a C plan.
I get it. It's always good to have a backup plan B. I get it.
And
absolutely.
What's good is I've been in enough games that I think I can switch some things up in the game if I can get the kids to learn basketball and know what I guess the basketball sense would be. We can change things here and there and within a game, and that'll help a lot. We did that yesterday in that scrimmage and helped a lot. And just off the fly, hey, you need to go there. You go there, we'll run this, and we'll be okay. We'll get a shot. And so we do, and we can run it. But sometimes it's like, what? So they got to learn the system. But
indeed, and it sounds like you have the ability to motivate these girls and keep them motivated. As you go on, I think of a golfer who's out there for the first time and hits the ball everywhere, but they get that one shot, and man, it's amazing. And you can't wait to go out there and do it again. I kind of sense that may be what you have some of this year, but I expect by the end of the year you guys will be, competitive, or at least putting on a good show, and as we said, having fun and doing it for the right reasons. All things for His glory, right?
That's right. Every second of it, yes.
Yeah, well, Coach, I appreciate it very much. We are talking to Coach Gary Abbott of Somerset Christian School ladies basketball, the Lady Cougars, and your first game is home
Monday night,
Lynn Camp, so 6 o'clock. Get out there and check it out and have a good time.
And I'll guarantee you the good time. And 5 more players 5 more players.
All right, we'll do it. That's going to wrap it up here from Buffalo Wings and Rings. Always fresh, never frozen burgers and wings created your way. We appreciate all that Buffalo Wings and Rings does for us here at Lake Cumberland Sports. We're going to sign off. Thank you to Mike Kerr. I want to say thank you to Pat Harris, Robert Reed, and Jeremiah have been over there doing player interviews. And, of course, we want to thank Kevin because he's the guy that signs the checks. We're going to sign off and go to LakeCumberlandSports.com. You can check out our schedule and find out where we're going to be broadcasting these games. And I'm going to make one final pitch. Friday night, Adam Bray and I are following the Somerset Briar Jumpers over to Owensboro, taking on Owensboro Catholic in the state semifinal to a football contest. And you can hear all that. It's an audio-only broadcast, again, at LakeCumberlandSports.com. Thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Looking forward to seeing you.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I-200 down Gannett, here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.